Happy. Is it Monday? I have lost track of the days. It could be Tuesday, but here we are. Welcome, everybody. All are so good to see you. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
I am thirsty for this chat tonight. Y'all don't know how thirsty I am for this chat tonight.
As thirsty as I am.
I've been dealing with some special people today.
Girl, please. You late. I've been all weekend on special ed.
I'm really trying not to block people because I want to stay open to everybody. But when you get that one person that's like a pebble in your shoe and you want to take your shoe off and shake that rock out, but you look around and you standing in shit, so you just keep the rock in your
That's
shoe.
right. Don't do it, Bubbles. Don't do it. You know why? Because I am that goddamn couple in their shoe right now. That's me. That is me. I'm the pebble in the op shoe.
I don't pick no nothing with nobody. I try to mind my business, and I play both sides of the fence from time to time. Maybe not so much now because things with the Logan clan has been ridiculous for the past 5-10 years.
Yeah.
But these people are on me like white on rice. And I meant to put it on Twitter. Let me read you this tweet somebody said to me.
Oh, girl.
Let's go for it.
Tweet. Who knows? Deacon might teach him being Douglas, how to man up and accept responsibility for his actions, which is something that Reed is yet to do. Notice that Deacon isn't running cons anymore and is trying his best to work his way up. Reggie's still bouncing between using two women. The same Deacon that just gave Sheila Carter shelter and almost killed 3 people.
Correct.
Between that and Liam being a role model, I don't know what's worse.
Well, let's stick with Deacon. Let's stick with
right. Let's do one horse at a time. Let's beat one horse up at a time.
Okay.
Let's stick with Deacon. Who gonna take Deacon on by the bullhorns? Is it gonna be me or somebody else?
You go ahead with Deacon. I got Liam.
Who got Deacon? Bubbles, you got Deacon?
You know what? I got everybody tonight.
Okay.
Whoever goes Deacon, take Deacon.
Honestly, I'll start with Deacon because honestly, I want to piece everybody today.
Get him, darling. I go after you on Deacon's ass. Get him.
When they, reintroduced Deacon back into the canvas, I was willing to give him a fair chance. It'd been over 10 years since his ass had been in LA. He hadn't done anything particularly egregious because I never did hold the whole Quinn thing against him because she did try to kill him. So I figured, you know what? Let's give him even shot. But then here he come through with his bullshit. He was okay for a minute, but then here he come with this mess with Sheila, which is bad enough. But then what happened today and what happened on Friday, Deacon can kiss the crack of my ass. Because first of all, you sitting up there passing judgment about anybody else's parenting skills. And as I said on Twitter, have you even talked to your grown son, Eric Sharp, yet, who's older than Hope? Do you even know where that child is? No, you ain't talked to that child since you dropped his ass in Furnace Creek.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you do not get to sit up here in the Olive Garden and talk shit about anybody else's parenting styles or casting aspersions on anybody else's ability to raise a child, because for the fact of the matter is, your ass ain't raised none, sir.
Right? So he ain't raised shit but Brooks libido.
Exactly. And then today didn't go over no better because they sitting up there kikiing about Sheila and that damn toe, and then he decides to go ahead and oh well, Brooke, you need to know about this because I know you won't be involved in this, sir. Mind your mother business. You don't need her to be involved in it. Brooke don't need to be involved in it. But here you go having an opinion like your asshole that's stanky. You bum ass bastard.
Now, Bubbles, you want Deacon's ass next?
Listen, y'all know I'm like, darling, I was trying to give this raggedy motherfucker an opportunity, a chance, a
Mhm. Mhm.
8 million chance. I even gave this man the excuse. You know, he didn't kill Diane. He didn't. He had nothing to do with that. Diane Jenkins is alive. Why would Deacon be? Fuck Deacon Sharp. Let me tell you, this raggedy bastard ain't did shit since he came to town, but begged to see his grown ass daughter, who
Mhm.
gotten off of her ass and met him at any place in Los Angeles, as she did today. But she fucked up her mama's marriage not once, not twice, but we getting ready to hit the third strike with this whole Douglas thing, and I hope everything crumbles for all of these people. Um, Deacon is just, sir. I mean, you out here harboring fugitives from the law, and you can sit in judgment of Thomas. Like, how do you even fix your mouth?
Right.
How do you
Mhm.
fix your mouth? And if one more person brings up Emma, I feel like I might take them to PCH and drive them off of a cliff.
Mhm.
Who got Deacon's
Mhm.
ass next?
I got next.
The
Okay, good.
difference, the
I
difference between driving somebody off the road is what Sheila did to Lee. That's driving somebody off the road. Thomas
Yeah.
was following Emma, but this dingle dumble bunny was sitting over here doing everything but paying attention to the road. And then she just get her driver's license or something. Or
Ain't
was
nobody
that,
touching your ass.
what is she? I just don't even get it. Emma could have been so many other things, but she was collateral damage for Hope. Just like all
Mhm.
the people sitting at that table, except for
Wait a
Brooke.
minute now. I ain't got my chance on Deacon yet now. Come
I
on.
want my
We still
Right.
on Deacon. We still on his raggedy ass
Right.
because he ain't doing shit but trying to get under Brooks' good graces. She
That's
didn't know he
it.
was there, but oh my God, let me fall over myself backwards to tell you all the ways Thomas needs to lose his child. Never mind, I'm sitting here begging to see you, my very own flesh of my seed. I'm sitting here begging to see you, but I'm not gonna have no kind of sympathy for Thomas, who
Right.
made mistakes just like I made mistakes. Uh,
like
I'm
Right.
everybody at that table.
every
Right.
single person at that table. Brooks asked, I got to save my heat for Brooks.
Can I go?
I
Yep.
want I want Deacon's ass.
Can
Go
I
ahead. And I
say
want
this?
it
I'm just
last.
gonna say one thing about Deacon.
Mhm.
See, this is why when you give them a chance, you give them an inch, they take a football field. This is why I did not want him linked with Taylor. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Go
Any
ahead on.
given a light, he took. He didn't even have a glimmer of light. He put a flashlight on on a subject that had nothing to do with him, just to ride up in Brooks' ass like some fresh pair of thongs. Now
Right.
that's it.
Mhm.
That's all I got to say.
And that's
You
what I
was
listen what I
right.
got to say about this
Mhm.
motherfucking Deacon. I knew from day one when he brought his raggedy ass on the scene that he wasn't gonna be nothing but trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I knew from day one that when he brought his behind on the scene, he wasn't gonna be nothing but trouble, but for everybody, not just
Mhm.
some, but for all. Deacon's always been a loser. He's always been
Mhm.
trash. He's always been
Mhm.
garbage. No matter
Mhm.
how well he said he wanted to do, and know how many times he claimed he wanted better for himself, no matter how many people put him on the right track and the path to try to be somebody, he always
Mhm.
shows his true colors. He
Mhm.
trash.
So did.
Mhm.
He
So,
garbage. And that's because
mm-hmm.
I was always no dealer. He always was trash and had
Mm-hmm.
no business even in the same class as Taylor as far
Mm.
as dating
Mm.
wise. That
Mm.
man ain't good enough to clean her goddamn toilets. He is
Mm.
good enough to clean the Olive Garden toilets that everybody shit in LA. But he is
You
not
don't
good
got
Mhm.
to
enough to
go into
clean
the bathroom in
Taylor,
public like
Hamilton,
that.
Hayes, Forrester, Rashid, Maroney, Princess of
Mhm.
motherfucking Morocco. He can't clean
Mhm.
her toilets. He
Right.
can't do shit for her. But get
Right.
out her face. And I'm glad that she knew her worth. And when he started coming on to her, he let it be known. Don't even come back around me no more when I get from Monaco.
Yep, so
So
did. Cut
that's
it
what I
Shut
short.
that
got to say
down.
about Deacon. He ain't never been shit.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
And ain't
I,
never gonna be shit.
Facts.
And you
So
well,
know,
I want to say this about Deacon. I was
after he was, when they was pushing that Taylor and that Jilla, I'm with you, Sam, from the very beginning. I did not want that trash around the queen. I
Facts.
had people attacking me. Well, I mean, is it because he's broke? Is it because he don't have no money? Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't even about that
So
because
what?
I knew from the very beginning. Let's go all the way back to that fight between him and Ridge.
Yeah.
What did Deacon do when he heard Brooke coming in that door?
He
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 started
got
fighting.
let
mad. Bully.
he let Ridge get the best of him,
Yep.
just so Brooke can come over there and save his ass, which is
Yep.
why Ridge left. So
Yep.
Right.
that was his number one. It was pretending. He was pretending to say, "Oh, I'm coming for Hope." When Brooke hit that door, when he got out of the jail, that's what he been doing. It is nothing that he hasn't done to make me feel otherwise.
Facts.
And for him to sit at that table, now I'm thinking that out of everybody, out of all of the Logans, I'm thinking Deacon would be the one to have Thomas back to say, well, wait a minute, Hope. Because when Hope found out, when Hope let everybody know she had been writing Deacon, what did she tell her mother? Well, I grew up all of these years without a father. I feel like it's important that I have my father here. As soon as Deacon touched down, Hope been throwing Deacon in everybody's face to give
Yep.
him the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
He's a changed man. So even right after he went up there to that office and tried to corner Taylor, and Taylor was like, "Get the fuck out my face. I got to go. Reed's waiting on me. I got to go get on the plane." Like she couldn't shake it. You know, so, but what did he do right after that scene? The next thing we saw Deacon was helping Sheila.
Yep.
And
Yep.
she sat there and talked, but the thing is, Deacon sat there and drank his beer while Sheila told him all that she had done.
With his
You know,
legs crossed.
with his legs crossed. So not only because up until that day he had believed Finn was dead. Steffi just barely got away with her life. Then he not only learns that Finn is not only alive, but she had been holding him hostage. Then
And
you
kill
think,
Lee.
and killed him. You know
He
what I'm
had
saying? Then you gonna turn around, but look, then you gonna turn around and help the woman after you
Yep.
done cornered Taylor, blah blah blah. But the day before, wasn't him and Brooke? I mean, wasn't him and Hope at the Olive Garden? How
Mhm.
she talking? My
Right.
daddy
I would never
this.
do anything to make
Yeah,
Mhm.
you not trust
yeah.
me.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But
would
then you
never do
gonna
anything
there you
to
But
that
make
they,
that
you
part.
feel.
but they so happy Finn is alive and he's back with
That
Steph.
part. You know what I'm saying? But then you gonna turn around and help this murderer get away after you done said all of that. But then not only that, you sitting up at the table and we all seen that look Friday after it went off. We all seen that look that he gave. It's something up with that. I got a feeling Deacon knows
He
that
He has
Sheila
involved in
is
something
it.
of
not
death.
alive.
He
He,
involved in
that's right. But he's
it.
if anybody out of all of them, he should have reminded everybody on that table. If anybody can be fixed or changed, it could be me because I'ma have Thomas back because I know I'm fighting here to see my grown daughter.
But you know
Mhm.
what the problem is? Is that um I'm gonna let that pass. Deacon is not gonna do nothing but lick boots. That's all he gonna
Because
do.
he won't Brooke.
Correct.
That's it. That's all.
But see,
That's it. That's all.
that's the which what Lady Sanchez said is exactly right. Is that it's the absolute hypocrisy and irony of him sitting up at this table talking about how badly he feels that Sheila couldn't change and be the person she wanted to be. In the same breath as he's talking about casting aspersions on Thomas, I'm like, bitch, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Really? And the
yeah,
only reason you're and then on top of that, the only reason that you're allowed to mix with the Logans now is because they believe you have changed, but you're
yeah.
gonna cast aspersions on Thomas just because he wants what is his right to want, which is full access to his own damn child. If you don't get the fuck out of here,
Knowing what he done, knowing he done protected Sheila, he still, they don't know that, but he knows in his heart he helped Sheila escape. And he gonna
Instead,
say that about Thomas. And he gonna say that about Thomas. No.
but you see, my thing is, instead of him being a healthy and of sound mind, you would have think being 10 toes down on cell block 6 would have rehabilitated his way of thinking. But as you can see, it has not. So
No,
Well,
I
no.
don't understand how you can still be in this mindset to where you okay, so you trying to make up for lost time that Brooke took away from you. Brooke took that time away from you on purpose
and
because
she
if
trying to
she
take it
did,
from Thomas.
Well,
if
that's
you know what
right.
I'm saying,
And
and
that's
if
what Hope said.
that's what I'm saying, if she took this time away from you and y'all just reclaiming y'all time,
Why
why
Thomas
do
can't have
Thomas
the
have to
same
go
with
through that?
Douglas.
And
That's
Why
right.
you want to put that on somebody else? That's the
That's
same
right.
theory
That's
that
the
Hope
That's right.
has,
hypocrisy that was sitting
oh,
around the table. That was
oh,
the hypocrisy that was sitting. That's what I was saying the first time the episode showed with them at the table. I said I never would have believed that I would have two damn deadbeats sitting at a table talking about taking the rights from
the
another man
Deadbeat
trying to
Dad
get after their
Club.
child.
Oh wait, I see
Wait a
Lumi.
minute.
I see Lumi has popped in. Lumi, we didn't just go around the table to let people talk about Deacon Reagan and this. Did you want to comment, dear?
I want to get on that deadbeat Lehman. Girl,
I might have to pass on
yeah,
Lumi because
me
I might
too.
have to damn throat.
well, I only want to say one thing. This is all I have
Hello.
to say
They
about
go,
that deadbeat bastard.
hey,
Is
Lumi,
Oh
how in
God.
the
wait,
If we
Lumi,
go in there,
wait,
really,
Lumi,
Hi,
just
I need to
ladies.
think
okay,
about
go
taking
ahead,
Leah
Lumi. I'm
on this
sorry. See here.
combo.
I was just saying hi, ladies. How is everyone?
Hey,
We
Hi.
Lumi.
good. How
hey,
you doing, Lumi?
We
Lumi.
good.
Good to hear from everyone.
Dragon Deacon, we good. Getting ready to start on
Oh
me. And
yes,
what you got?
well, let
What you
please
got?
let me get an in on that.
Come
All
on.
I just listened. I was listening to Deacon today, and all I kept thinking of, you will do anything to kiss Hope and Brooke's ass just to get a slither of affection any way you can. It
Ooh.
doesn't matter how you sit there and paint it, look at it any other way. You will do anything they say, just as Liam will. You don't even have an identity anymore. It's just
Mm,
literally anything he can do to sit there, get in their good graces. I don't
mm.
even really care what Deacon has to say. My issue is you have Deacon, who is a deadbeat, sitting next to another deadbeat, sitting there
Mhm.
talking about somebody else's child who actively wants to be in his child's life
Right?
when you can't even get your butt up to go down to, I don't know, how many blocks away to Steffi's house and sit there for even 2 hours to sit there and give your daughter, your
Say that,
firstborn,
say
24 hours of your time.
that.
You were sitting over here thinking about some kind of golden child inside of your wife's cooch before while your firstborn was sitting out was already born. So don't sit here and talk about somebody being don't talk about somebody being an unfit father, because your daughter came into this world with an unfit father.
Hello.
Mhm.
Woo!
Hello.
Woo!
Mm.
Came in with the heat. That's right.
See that?
Yes, Lumi.
No lies told.
See, that's what I be talking about. Bring the heat because I'm done playing nice. I ain't blocking nobody, but I'm gonna be real petty with some of my comments.
There you
Today,
go.
the funny part is today is actually only day 2. So the tag is gonna be lit like hell from 9 to when this story concludes.
And I intend to
Surely
be
is.
a
You
pebble in the
know,
shoe.
darling, I'm gonna tell you like this. I grew up. When I started on Twitter, baby, I was so hood, but I cleaned it up. I've been nice. I've been respectable. But let me tell you, baby, these little whatever they call these people, these little Hope fans and Logan fans jumped out this weekend. And when I tell you, baby, I've been cursing people. I've been in the ring. I feel like I done been going 12 rounds with these people. It's
So
been
listen,
horrible.
this is where it is. The point blank in the period is from the onset of J. Matthew Atkinson being cast as the fourth Thomas Forrester,
Yeah.
the fourth adult Thomas Forrester.
Hmm.
When this man was cast, we knew he
Hmm.
was good already from Y&R. He was
Yeah.
handsome. I was pissed that he
That they
wasn't
killed
Steffi's
off
love
like that.
interest. What
Yeah.
they did is they brought in Thomas H. Forrester and all his
Mhm.
sexiness and all his
Mhm.
style and all his talent. He's
Yeah.
always been dreamy, always been the man, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
They
have.
bring him in uncharacteristically obsessed with hope and had him tell
Mhm.
Sally Spectre, the last woman that he was in love with, to her face, he ain't never loved nobody but hope.
Yeah.
They fucked us from the onset with Thomas Forrester
Mhm.
when
Bad.
they cast him.
Mhm.
So
So did.
these Hope and Logan fans need to sit down and eat their goddamn food so we can get this corrected. Y'all
Yeah.
not gonna live forever and be complaining that Douglas belongs to y'all. He never belonged to them. That
Yes,
story
No.
was
they
foul from the beginning. It should never have happened. Shut
Yeah.
up and release the damn Tay Tot.
I
That's
Yeah.
it.
don't understand
Stop
why
Right.
fighting about it.
I don't understand why these Gondoliers want Douglas so bad anyway. It got to be a power play
It
because
is.
That's
why
all it
you
is.
want Douglas so bad? What's the hold up? What's the
So
hold up
they can get
with
them.
Hope
So
getting
they can
pregnant
get the
again?
Spencer and
Focus
Forrester shares.
focus on growing Loke's family by
Correct.
adding more children,
Correct.
right? Don't
Correct.
be getting out here acquiring kids from people who don't want you to have their children.
Collecting children.
Collecting
That's not
children.
right. That's
Exactly.
not right. She got her baby back. We don't want to hear it. That's to come my tweet.
Exactly.
This is my tweet, Bubbles. Um, for these ones that want to get belligerent, I just let them know you can keep coming with it. I put that tweet out there. Let me tell you something. We do not care. We
That's
No,
do
right.
not
we do
care.
not care.
I don't care about how bad it look on adoption. I don't care how long Hope got to cry about it. I don't give a damn if they got Beth out there speaking full paragraphs talking about how much she gonna miss Douglas. I don't give a damn.
Right.
Release
Me
the
either.
Tay. He never
Right.
belonged there. He
Yeah.
never belonged there. That's not your
And
little happy family. It's a fractured fairy tale that you done cut Thomas out of the picture,
Yeah.
pasted Douglas
Mhm.
in. Kelly's
Yeah.
supposed to
Mhm.
be in that picture. Real damn man would have a family picture with all his kids in it, regardless. But he don't even he. It took him years to even get a single picture of Kelly in his house.
Yeah.
And
So
excuse me, when did I could have sworn that when Thomas and Douglas came for Caroline's funeral, Douglas was almost 6 years old. That is not the house that raised him.
he
How
right,
many
was.
he was
times we
talking.
need
That
to
He
get
was
it
exactly.
talking
together?
about his
This
mama's mac and
Get
dialogue,
it
cheese.
together.
He was talking
this
about his mama's
dialogue
mac and
where
cheese. So yeah,
they talk like Douglas has been at the Lope cabin since he was in swaddling or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Child,
right,
no, this was a whole child who was at least in kindergarten, if a kindergarten, if not better, when he came back to LA.
I
Okay,
Yes.
so
think he
no,
was 6 or 7.
yeah, he
Second,
had to, he,
he in
exactly.
second grade now, so
because he was already going to school. They was
right.
Yeah.
already talking about. Remember when they took Douglas out of that house? Hope said, "But he's got school in the morning." And Riggs
Exactly.
told her his father will take him to school in the
That's
morning.
right.
Exactly.
So he was in school already.
Exactly. So all this carrying on, but this is the only home he's ever known. No, it's not.
No
That's
bullshit.
that's real convenient. And the thing that caught me today more than anything, aside from the absolute assholery from the Olive Garden, is the actual topic matter between the two families and how they were contrasted. You had
Yep.
Yeah.
Briggs at Forrester, and you had Logan's and the men who hold their purses at Olive Garden. And their their tone was completely different. Over at Forrester, they're talking
Mhm.
about Douglas and his
Yeah.
Yes.
feelings, what's best for him,
Exactly.
and how he feels, and how he shouldn't feel like he's
Yes.
an afterthought to his dad. And Olive Garden, all they're talking about was like, well, he has such a good home, and
He's gonna affect
he has
hope.
too good. It's gonna affect Hope and Beth. I don't give a flying fuck about how Douglas's living
Exactly.
up situation affects Hope and Beth. They are not the
Yes.
priority. Douglas is a child. And
Nobody
so,
worried
Exactly.
about
so,
Douglas.
so choices are made about what's in the best interest of
Interest
that
of
child.
the child.
That will
Thank
be all
you.
right. Hope is a grown ass woman, so she best learn how to be all right.
And that's
Mhm.
what Thomas said today too, ma'am. Thomas, because when they was like, Hope shouldn't be, should that blah blah, and Thomas said, well, I don't think she is. I really just think that she just don't want to let Douglas go. He pinned it right there. There
Yes,
is
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did.
absolutely no reason for her to try to stand between Thomas taking
Yes.
on 100% physical custody of his boy.
And
Let me
you know what killed me too also is the whole situation with Beth. Now I'm just say this, it's back a throwback. Anybody ever notice that Thomas was not in the house when they kidnapped Phoebe from Steffi house? No, he wasn't there. Thomas's whole character against Hope is pure empathy. He feels so sorry. He knows she on the verge of a breakdown, so he tiptoeing all around all her emotions. If he had been at that Cliff House that day when they came up in there and stormed the castle and took Phoebe up out of his sister's arms, he wouldn't have no reaction like he did today. He wouldn't have been about no empathy.
Well,
No,
I
not
don't know
unless you
about
saw how like that, how they didn't give a shit about his sister crying on the floor with her heart cut out. Ugh.
right. Yeah, but now they want to talk about it. Now they want
Yeah.
to talk about hurt how it's gonna hurt Beth. But ain't nobody give a damn about Kelly. The
So
we
then,
seen we
Mm-mm.
seen
Kelly
Kelly's
adjusted.
deadbeat. We seen Kelly's deadbeat show up. For one, we didn't even get a point of view from Steffi after they took that baby. She was off
so
screen.
then,
The actress was off screen for
Yes.
6 goddamn weeks after
We
she
didn't get the
collapsed on the
aftermath,
bed.
Sam. We didn't get the aftermath.
We
How
truly
that,
didn't.
yeah.
honestly, she had the accident and she had the addiction, and then all the stuff came out. That's the only time we heard something about her
Right,
reaction.
because her point of view was completely washed over and skipped over. So
Yes,
I don't want to give a damn about Hope's pain.
I
They
swear.
brushed over Steffi's. We didn't get to see her. The next time we saw Steffi, she was sitting on her couch with Liam
Mhm.
apologizing that he hadn't seen her or Kelly for weeks. And they
Yeah,
hadn't
Yeah.
seen
Exactly.
Beth either. So they took that child out of their house, walked out. He didn't even kiss his baby goodbye before he
nope.
walked out the door after living in that house with her, with that
Yes,
baby. He
but
ghosted his own damn daughter. So he didn't
Chelsea.
just abandon his daughter the first time, the second time, the goddamn third time he abandoned Kelly. So that
Yep,
motherfucker ought not never talk about nobody in their child.
I'm
yep.
No.
gonna tell you
And
something else that kind of stood out for me today that just made me want to crawl through the TV and choke everybody.
What was that?
So they sitting there at the Olive Garden talking
Mm.
about Thomas, and Thomas wants Douglas to come live with him. Live with him where? Like, where's Thomas going to live? Oh, well, he said something about asking Eric if he can come live at the big house.
Mm-hmm.
Cole gonna say, well, I guess that's kind of familiar to Douglas. So
uh,
Mm-hmm.
y'all not even taking Douglas over to his great granddaddy house. The only place
Right.
Douglas goes is to the cabin and wherever Aunt Donna drags him and Beth when she ain't somewhere dipping Eric's pickleballs and honey.
And
Well,
honey,
we know
right.
where he ain't been. He haven't been nowhere near Steffi or Taylor. We
That's
know
So
where
right.
he
what?
haven't
Say
been.
that. Say that.
He's
Yes.
been
He
there.
has been nowhere near his family. And for her to sit there and say that, like, taking him to Eric's house is the absolute worst thing. Well,
Like it's a shelter.
yeah, like it's some kind of animal shelter, some kind of.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I
But
guess if he's going,
But they can live on Brooks grounds and it's fine. You know, the fourth dimension don't have umpteen amount of pool houses and guest houses on top of the main house. You know, it's fine for him to live in that one room shack with four other people. You know,
Well,
it's
with the fact that she thinks that Douglas don't know her own family and her own family home is astounding.
yes,
That's
yeah,
what's
it is.
astounding.
I was gonna
She's
say
gonna
that
pretend
bubble.
like Douglas
exactly.
don't know his grandpa house.
That's
What the
how I
fuck is you
felt.
kidding me?
That's how what I got from it, from what Bubbles said. Bubbles, this it was so disrespectful when Brooks said that, like, this we're talking about Douglas family. Y'all
Mhm.
saying that about the Forresters. It's like they have forgotten that that's Douglas family.
Yeah.
Douglas is a forester.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. I mean, it was a complete slap in the face. It was like, help these people. I mean, they talking about, I guess that's gonna be okay. What you mean you guess that's gonna be okay? That's Eric, that's Douglas' great grandfather.
And
It's
Donna is fucking him. She just about in the house, so surely he would be okay because he gonna be in the same house with his damn baby sitter.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
because they are not content with Douglas just being desensitized with Douglas's desensitization. They don't want Douglas to be known as a Spencer or a Forrester.
And I'm
That
gonna need
they
y'all
want
to
to
realize
erase his identity and just make him a Logan from the cradle, which is bullshit.
what Queen Libra just said. Squash everything. Say that again. Douglas was born at the Forrester Mansion. Yes, ma'am. Sure was.
Right.
So,
So it's
And
so
like
taking all
his
the way back to where
his
he came
cadence
from.
is where he is going back to. He started there. So yes, ma'am.
I'm
I
laughing because
I
it's like
feel like
I have to agree with Bubbles. They talking about Eric House like it's a fucking hovel or something. It's a mansion in Beverly Hills that's practically down the street from Brooks' mansion in Beverly Hills.
And
It's
it's
a
the
mansion
family
that
home.
most of the characters on this show have lived in at one point or another in the last 35 years. What the hell are you
But
talking
listen,
about,
even more
lady?
than that, though. But listen, even more than that, even if this was Big Mama house that was sitting on 4 bricks, this
don't
is the
know.
family damn home. Big
Mm-hmm.
Mama house is the only house you going to where you feel welcome no matter damn what.
Yep.
That's the family home. Even if it was a goddamn hovel, that would be the best place for Thomas and Douglas with his family, hobbled up in a hobble together with his damn family, not taken by a whole nother family that don't even value and respect your family.
They
And
never
you don't
even
have.
even
when
respect the
even
Foresters
when
enough. I can't.
so
I'm sorry, but
Amaya said the Spencer tie is being broken as well and is gross. And I just want to say something to that because when they started with this Logan taking Douglas business, that's how we felt as Thomas fans, Douglas fans, Steffi and Taylor fans. That fight should have never been between Hope and Thomas, the Logans. The Logans have nothing to do with that child. That child is a Spencer and that child is a Forrester. So if it would have been any custody issues, it should have been the Forresters up against the Spencers.
Well,
And
that
we were
I would have been
cheated of
That's what I
that.
keep saying.
I don't think that's a fair argument because don't
We
ain't
were
there not
cheated of
one
that.
Spencer, ain't there not one Spencer doing anything for their children
I mean,
unless
but let
they
it
put
come out
it.
though.
But
But
what I
let it
see what
come
you're
out though. Let
saying.
it play out. But what we're saying, and I think what Amaya was saying is that's that the fight should have never been with the
With
Logans.
Hope,
Period.
exactly. That's the
Period.
point. The point is that
because
the
the
Hope
Logans
is
don't
the
have no
last
place in this at
person on
all.
canvas that should have ever got Douglas. To be honest, she shouldn't have even been on the list of potential people that should
So
have
Thank
got
you.
Douglas.
his
Thank
That's
you.
what we getting at.
his auntie could have
She
got him.
shouldn't have Douglas. Period. It should have never
Thank you.
happened, and that's why it's always been an abomination to
That's right.
all Thomas Steffi Forrester fans. It was first like how in the hell Brooke got Taylor's grandchild trying to co-opt him of his own. We didn't. It stank from every angle for
Yeah.
us. Every angle, and it's being corrected, and that's why we out here stomping. I'm stomping this pavement. I don't care how many of my mutuals complain about how I'm out here stumping it. I will stump it every day,
Yeah.
and once it's done and over, I take a break and I go back to normal. But y'all gonna get sick of me.
Yeah.
see,
Oh
but
yeah,
that's the problem
this
in
show is
general.
to fix something. That's it.
But see,
Oh, go
that's
ahead,
the
Lumi.
problem. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dart.
No, go ahead, Lumi.
I was just saying that, in general, all this whole thing with Hope literally gaining Douglas and all this and her fixation on trying to get him away from Thomas from the get go. Let's just go back a little bit. Even Thomas's entire transgression with knowing about Beth is completely shoehorned in the story of Beth being taken. All
Mm-hmm.
because Wayne Brady is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't recast his character or anything. They just, you know what? Let's just bring Thomas in and he's going to sit here and take the blame for it.
All of it.
And that's the problem I have with the entire story. Like, you have Thomas coming in from the get go, being the villain of a story that had nothing to do with him from the get go. What kind of
Exactly.
story is that?
Well,
Where the villain
he
of
should have.
it.
Go
Mhm.
ahead.
I'm just saying, what kind of story is it that the villain of the story that takes a child is no? That's like literally watching an episode of One Life to Live and watching Lawrence, and sitting over Lawrence, from One Life to Live, sitting over here
This
going
one.
after his daughter and trying to
Mhm.
make a baby, but then deciding to go after his sister wife instead. You know, that's it's boring. At the end of the day, it makes no sense.
I did.
It makes no sense for Thomas to be the one who is the entire who
The
takes the entire
villain.
transgression of
Yeah.
what happened to Beth.
But
What
they,
from what Riz
It
and
makes
Flo did.
sense in Brooks' eyes because Brooks started the witch hunt. Witch hunt started by Brooke, and it's still lit. Look what she said today. I don't think he'll ever be stable. Bitch, how you gonna say that? And you was literally 6 cans short of a 6 pack when you was on that damn island with them 2 dials. Ain't nobody's kept you from Rick and Bridget.
But that's the thing though, can it doesn't even matter what in the hell she think. Brooke Logan don't have nothing to do with that. Whatever Thomas do, if Thomas want to go jump off a bridge, Douglas is for the Foresters and for the Spencers. So really, I don't care.
I know we don't care, but I'm just saying that's just how it all started. She's the one that started. Oh, he's obsessed with my daughter. He's obsessed. He's obsessed, and I don't think that's the pot calling the kettle black, is it? And she been obsessed with the Forester since 1987. So I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna digress, and I'm gonna dial it back because we got other topics to get on.
That's the problem in general with the whole
So do
entire
anybody hear
story of
static?
her.
Do anybody hear
A
static?
little bit. I hear a little static. I wonder if it's
What you
Yeah,
me.
say,
that
Sam?
might
Okay.
crackle.
I can't hear you, Sam. You said something.
Okay, Bubbles, I'm gonna go out and come back in. You there?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
But hey, Stefan. But yes, today was just
Ooh,
unbelievable. But I will say I was happy to see Steffi say exactly what I've been saying and so many people have been saying about
Yeah.
how they treat Thomas like he has
Mhm.
visitation with his own child.
Yeah.
'Cause that's exactly what's been going on for the longest time.
I want to know what Stefan meant about. He got something against what Steffi said today. What she said that was out of order because she stood up there and sounded like her grandmama to me. I didn't hear nothing out of line today. What was
I
she?
either. I was like, they done woke up. They didn't for real woke up Stephanie Douglas Forrester and this young woman today. It's time for us to just stop calling Steffi and start
It's
calling her Stephanie.
Stephanie. Listen,
That's what I
Bubbles,
said. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
glad I came in on this part of the conversation. Let
Yeah,
me tell y'all something. Um, I was just so proud today to stand Queen Stephanie. Queen Steffi Finnegan Forrester Finnegan, let me tell you, she just went on ahead and throw down the goddamn gauntlet. You know what I like? I like that my bitch runs her family. Mama,
yeah.
daddy, brother, and
Hmm.
all. She runs that motherfucker. She runs it. She runs it.
and
Well,
She
the
relentless.
CEO was in her
Listen, Steffi,
office.
me and your dad, we got it. We got it. Don't we got it? Yeah, we got it. She's just like, well, whatever, I'm just saying. It's time for y'all to do what you got to do. She is on their necks.
Yeah.
She keep foot on the necks, and I love it. I have
Yes,
waited for so long for Steffi to ascend and start walking in her destiny. Her
that's
destiny
right.
is to run that motherfucker. Period.
And
She needs to be the
yeah,
yes,
one
she
that
did.
strikes fear in all the Logans. They
Yes,
not
she does.
supposed to
Always
like her.
have.
They not
Yes,
supposed
she
to
did.
like her.
And I'll be glad when Taylor passed the torch down because it's about time. I've been saying this for a couple of months now.
Taylor don't have a torch.
Steffi needs to
This is
be
the torch.
called Stephanie now
yeah.
because she's within her rights. She full grown. She ain't got no more kitty growing up to do.
And she the only Stephanie now, so it's okay.
That's right. That's
Script. Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Right. Right. Stephanie Forrester. That's who she is. Stephanie
Time
Forrester
for her to
Finnegan.
be Stephanie Forrester Finnegan. Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
right.
Sitting up
That's who
here
she
calling
is.
no CEO by her nickname. That's dead and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Her door on the sign on her door does not say Steffi Forrester Finnegan. It says Stephanie. When she signed all them legal documents and she signed anything, she signed Stephanie. So
So yeah. So we sufficiently dragged Deacon. Who's
Hmm.
next on the list?
Lame ass.
Yes, indeed. That
Y'all
fool.
sure that y'all don't want to go last on him?
Oh no, because we have a few other things to get to, and I don't want to leave this meeting with the taste of Liam on my breath because he's stank.
Me,
Okay. What's on the agenda next, y'all?
Liam sitting up there holding Hope's purse, not capable of an opinion of his own, talking bullshit about how perfect the setup is the cabin is, and you would think that Thomas wouldn't want to. I'm like, first of all, one. Let's cut the bullshit about the perfection of the cabin in the woods, okay? Your wife put your ass out for cheating on her. Douglas was asking if his daddy could move in.
Right?
Okay, and then when your ass went to prison, or excuse me, holding for a murder that you actually did not technically commit because of that Benny crap, you was up here talking about how Douglas needs to look at the best. And
Right.
I'm like, oh,
Thomas.
and I'm like, I mean, that Thomas needs to look after Beth. So what is all of this shit today? You deadbeat bastard, because that's what that table was. It was the deadbeat dad club. You sitting up
Right.
well,
here just carrying on scandalous, amen, and all this bullshit that's flowing out of people's mouths.
stamping
And
it, yeah.
part that had me raw was Brooke referring to the fact that Douglas had two wonderful parents. Liam is not Douglas's parent by any
Thank
stretch
you.
of the imagination, so she can keep that shit.
He don't parent the kids he got. How the hell you gonna sit up there and try to parent your second cousin? You ain't never wanted him in your cottage with you and your tramp family. No. I'm gonna need you to know, darling, that was a table full of deadbeats, period. Equal
Right.
right.
Well,
Well,
Darling, they was
it was.
all
It
deadbeats
started with Brooke.
from
It started
Brooke,
with Brooke, darling, and
from
I want to
Brooke
say
to
this here.
Deacon
Brooke
to
came
Liam
up.
to Hope. And you know what killed me? Is that they all just a bunch of hypocrites. It's just like, are you kidding me? When did you actually get on board with this, Liam? Was it after you agreed to just disintegrate your first family with Steffi? And that means including Douglas too by going along with, because I could remember you giving her an ultimatum. And it was no Thomas, no Douglas, or I'm gone. And your mother-in-law was more on your side than her side. It's all about digging in Thomas. It's always about digging in Thomas, and that's what killed me. Who? So that's why I asked y'all this question last week. Who done gave up the right so Thomas can be a scapegoat? Rick. Rick not on script, so now they got turns to dig on Thomas. It's some bullshit in the game, and I'm not digging it, but that's okay because
So
I
if we
know at the end of this, Thomas will have his boy.
so if we still
I
on
hope
Liam,
so.
I'm gonna go ahead and get in
mm-hmm.
on this and get it out of the way.
Go ahead.
Liam said today that yeah, I don't know why he would want to upset that. Douglas is in a stable environment. Why would he want to upset that? How many times has Liam upset Kelly's environment?
Yeah.
Every time he around,
Every time.
3, 4, 5, 6,
I
7,
cannot tweet
11, 7,
enough
11 times.
that when people talk about Liam needs to be a dad to Kelly, nope. Liam
Mm-mm.
has been nothing but a disservice and he's I think he's already harmed Kelly.
Yeah.
First of all, Kelly didn't even know what it was like to have a dad at home. And
Yeah.
say
the
that.
times when he would come for a weekend to a week or two, um, she would, I guess, get used to seeing him, and then he gone again. That's more confusing. He should have never came. He's come in and out of her life 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I count those. He's abandoned her 2 or 3 times, and every time he did, he walked out the door. He didn't think about it, didn't care about it until months later when he thought about it. Oh, I actually do have another daughter. Maybe I should go over here and see her and sit on the sofa next to her mother and make sure that she knows that I actually do care about this child. That's what Liam is to me. Liam don't give a shit about Kelly. He
Nope.
don't care at all. He's going to sit there and do everything he can to help Hope secure Douglas from Thomas. Period. Because that's just what he gonna do. Now, as
Yeah,
That's
far
because
as
right.
he don't
Kelly,
want to
I
upset the
want her to
queen.
keep drawing pictures that exclude the deadbeat because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly shouldn't be her dad. To me, in my opinion, they did that on purpose, of course. They wanted
Mm-hmm.
Steffi and Hope to have a kid with Liam, but they overshot their hand. They really thought that we was gonna be with this shit, and they overshot it. So now we stuck with Kelly now, which that's Steffi's
She a
baby. I don't
Cinnabon
got
now.
nothing against the baby, but now we stuck and we albatrossed with Liam's damn seed. We fucking got so unlucky with that.
You know what,
That
Sam?
should have never happened.
You
They
know what?
thought that they were still gonna have a viable triangle, and they don't. So it's
No.
for naught.
Mm-mm. Because
But
not. Oh, go ahead, Can.
I was just gonna tell Sam, but this is bold and beautiful. Everything can be rewritten. Everything can be redone. So we can look forward to something. It doesn't have to stay that way. He doesn't have to stay her dad. Absolutely not. I mean, hell, he ain't been it so far. Only time he show up is when somebody pointed out to him.
Mm,
Oh yeah,
I
and
was.
it's only for show, in my opinion. It's only for show. He needs for people to see him as a good guy. So he's always going to be, saying how much he loves but you can say all you want. You can even feel, but if you
Mhm.
ain't doing a damn thing about it, then it still don't mean shit.
And one thing that I don't think the show has ever truly understood was just how bad Liam came out post the Beth reveal. Because here's the thing: he lived with Steffi, Kelly, and Beth when she was Phoebe. Okay, pretty much from as soon as Steffi brought her home. So he was in that house with that child pretty much all of her life post adoption.
Well,
So
no,
when
Liam didn't move in
Facts.
into that
Yes,
house until
darling.
after she came back from Paris. So Liam probably lived in that house for the last half.
Yeah.
okay, so but what I mean is the whole idea of the need to bond with the child now that the truth about who she really was out, etc., etc. I understood that from the Hope perspective because obviously, yeah, she had not spent large amount of times with her own child. But for Liam, that never really played right. So when he walked out that door the way that he did, and then did not come back for a month, because Steffi was very clear about that when Liam did come back with the child for a visit. That basically he had dusted her, and more importantly, Kelly to the side.
Correct.
Wasn't checking on his daughter. Wasn't seeing
He
how she was adjusting. Wasn't doing shit for her
Nothing.
for the month after something as traumatic as him moving out of the house and her not seeing her sister anymore happen. Because children may not be able to verbalize what's going on, but they notice when people are gone.
Correct.
And
But when he was there anyway, darling, all he was doing was talking about Beth and Beth and Beth and Beth. He wasn't paying attention to the daughter that was right there in
He
front of
was
him, the live
he
one.
yeah, he had moved into Steffi house. Because remember, he always lived with Beth.
Yeah.
So now this time he's not living with Beth after they got their baby back. And he's sitting up there holding Kelly, talking about how he missed Beth. The
Yeah.
baby that he never not lived without. And you sitting up here finally spending time with a baby that you never lived with, but you miss Beth. I was just like, if that's what they want to prove that Liam will throw his own daughter away for Hope and Beth, then fine, you proved it. What the fuck you still got him on her sofa for?
Right. Move him on.
Why is he
but that's
still here?
hmm but that's the thing with Liam. Liam cannot parent where he is not living. That is his whole failing. If he's not living someplace, that child is not getting parented. So Kelly. So as much as I despise people referring to him as Kelly's father, I don't know why the hell they thought anybody wanted to hear shit about him trying to parent Douglas when we all like he don't parent the kids the child he created. Then you want me to
You
hear
know,
this about him and his second cousin? Get the hell on.
darling, I have something to say about that, exactly what you just said. And that started what Brooke said today to Liam at the Olive Garden, giving him the torch of the best dad of the year for making a stable home for Douglas. It brought me all the way back when he left Steffi and his unborn child crying on her knees, because of a one night stand that he couldn't get over. So why are we giving this man a torch, an award for best dad for making a stable home for Thomas' son, when he didn't even when he couldn't even make a stable home for Kelly? his own flesh and blood.
Right? That's right. You know
But
what?
Ridge
I
already
didn't
told
even
him
think
though.
about it because I try to ignore him as much as possible because the character, you do so much, and I can't help it that the character evokes disgust in me.
Yeah,
He really evokes disgust, and I understood that it was personal. He triggered something, and I realized it. And when I realized it, I literally had to look into myself. I was like, wow. So I really still am affected by these things, right? And I
yeah,
came to a realization that, it's like PTSD. Some things that you go through, you may be fine, but then you never know what that trigger is going to be that
right.
brings you right back to that time and place and that feeling that you had.
Yes.
And when I realized that that's where that character went with me, I was just like, okay, I get it. I get it. It's personal, but my feelings are valid though because I am seeing it, and he is making me feel this way. So
Uh-huh.
that particular character, I try not to pay close attention to. But if I had heard that and paid attention to that in that conversation, I probably would have lost it and thrown my phone at the TV. But that's okay. Because clearly, just like Steffi always said, the writers always put some truth in these characters' mouth. Hope thinks her family is better than Steffi's. So Hope
Yes,
thinks
it does.
her, Beth, and Douglas, or whoever that she dones to be hers, whatever she claims is hers, she thinks it's better than Steffi and Steffi's kids.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what. See, this funny thing about it is Ridge already told me, and he was like, "You've never forgiven anyone enough to stick around," and he was right because look, right when he found out about the one night stand, he left. When he thought
Yeah.
Hope cheated on him with Thomas, he
He
left.
left. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the capacity to forgive, and he certainly
I
doesn't
don't
have
care
any
if he
staying
does
power.
either.
Well, he has all the capacity to fuck up and want people to keep forgiving his bull crap.
Yeah,
Without a
Mm-hmm.
I
doubt, which
think
is why Thomas drags him anytime he can get.
Yes, yes, rightfully so.
because right now Thomas looks a whole lot better than Liam because Thomas
Yeah,
looks like a man that's saying, "Okay, my child needs me. It's time for me to step up and be there." That touched my heart. I already felt like I wasn't spending enough time, but when he said that, he let me know that he misses me and he questioning my love. Fuck this, it's over. Liam, he don't give a shit.
No, we don't.
He don't give a shit about
mm-hmm.
Kelly.
And
He didn't
also,
give a shit about her. The minute he found out Steffi slept with Bill, he
He
determined
was
that he was
gone.
going to punish
he was
Steffi
done.
with that child.
That's right. And Thomas also said today, Sam, not only did he say he missed his son and that his son misses him and he got to be there for Douglas, he said he told Hope. He said, I told, because Taylor said, did you talk to Hope? He said, I talked to her. I told her that, but she act like she doesn't understand. And I was like, oh, wow, wow. So he see it. I mean, it was the dialogue was very, very clear. That was a proud moment for me with Thomas today. I absolutely enjoyed it. Now this is the man that those four at El Giardino talking about he can't raise Douglas. He's unable, he's incompetent, he's this, that, and the other. But he's the only one that has recognized that his son needs him. And he is the only one that is
Speak on
being
it.
an advocate for his son.
Speak on it.
Correct.
Because just like
Nobody
Darlin
else.
said, that's right. Both of y'all said it. The conversations between the two camps was completely different. Thomas
Yeah,
was focused on what words that he heard from Douglas, how Douglas's word made him feel, and how he don't want his son to ever question his love.
that's right.
Something has got to
Mm-hmm.
change. He said basically told her, I just want more time with him than without him.
And
He
the
just
and the
wants more time. He don't want 50-50. He was looking at 75-25.
and
Yeah,
the
And
thing
that's
is,
Right.
fine. That's his right. If he's willing to share 25% of the time, you should be grateful.
yeah,
that's the other thing. Nobody, despite whatever we may think of the arrangement, nobody in the Forrester office was trying to kick Hope out of Douglas's life. They
yeah,
were being respectful of the fact that there is a bond between Hope and Douglas, and they don't have a problem with it. They're just very clear on the fact that yes, he belongs with his father, especially
Right.
because now the boy is vocalizing himself that he's not getting enough time with his father. Because somebody pointed out on Twitter, and I have to agree with this. How ridiculous is it that and that's the thing. Hope has control problems, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. When Douglas wanted, because this is gonna stick in my coffer forever. When Douglas wanted to go back outside and keep spending time with his dad and toss the ball around, she
Mm-hmm.
sent the boy inside to read a goddamn chapter for some goddamn reason. That
Right.
chapter did not need to be read. You know how we know that chapter didn't need to be read? Because
Because they
what
went to go
happened
get ice
as
cream.
soon exactly, not just that, but as Thomas left, what happened? They
She
called
called
the
the
damn
babysitter.
they called the babysitter and they went their asses to dinner. So tell me
So
again why that child couldn't spend more time with his daddy?
his father. Exactly. That's what I. That was my tweet. That was my tweet. I was like, so Douglas said that the Douglas couldn't spend time with his father, but Hope can leave for him and call a babysitter, and they can go eat ice cream. They could have had Thomas babysit both of the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. It's like, come on now.
She
It
just like
was
that's what Taylor said. Those nights that Brooke was tucking him in, Thomas could have been tucking him in.
mm-hmm.
They just
But
literally don't have, and they never brought. We still ain't seen Taylor and Douglas in a scene yet since December 10th. Taylor's been cast since December 10th, and it's August 15th, and there's been no scene with Taylor and Douglas. But half the
Yes.
year when Douglas was on screen, he was calling Brooke grandma, while Taylor was cast and on screen across the street at the Cliff House. Grandma Brooke, grandma. He wasn't even calling grandma Brooke. It was just straight up grandma. And
straight up
Taylor was in
grandma.
town. They just straight up took the boy from his whole family.
Yeah.
And mad because his family wants him back.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Mad because his family wants him back.
That's what makes no sense. The thing is that this is completely natural. Okay? And they're talking about Douglas's living situation like it was settled business. Like Douglas was just supposed to live out the rest of his underage under 18 life in that cabin with Bloke raising him, and Thomas was supposed to be grateful for whatever crumbs of time he got with his own child. What is wrong with those
Correct.
people?
And Brooke pretending to be the grandmother. And but you know what, darling? Another thing Steffi said today, Hope took that his only living uh
Yeah.
family from here, his parent. After Carolyn died, you know, I mean, and that is so true. And I thought about that today, just looking at everybody receipts on Twitter, and it's like, you know what? I never even really thought about. I probably did think about it when it was happening. I'm pretty sure that was one of the conversations or arguments we was having on Twitter. But today, I just could not get it off my head that they have taken this boy after his mama died from his only living parents.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
Yeah.
one thing I will say about this story that I'm digging is the origin of it. Because here's
yeah,
the thing. I nobody is going and of course I don't work at Bold the Beautiful. I'm not in the writers' room, so I don't know shit for facts. So this is mostly my opinion. But I am still to this day fascinated about the Bold Live event we had when Casey was shocked at how many people had issue about Thomas and Douglas.
Right.
yeah. I remember that.
It's
Yeah,
like I kind of have to believe that fan reaction kind of maybe sprouted the seed of what we're seeing now a bit.
yes, I agree.
Because that was the lab with J Mac.
Right.
And
Yes,
when the caller made that call, and Thomas was not Thomas, J Mac was very clear. Yes, I think that's exactly what needs to happen. And he explained and explained and explained just the way he does because J Matt is so fabulous. And in case he said, wait, but Douglas only lives in the cabin with Hope and Liam. I mean, Thomas still sees Douglas, and J Matt had to say, yeah, he sees him, but that's not raising him.
yeah,
Right.
No, it's
In
not.
case he made a comment like, oh, okay. People always be serious about the
He
kids.
didn't think it
Uh,
was a big deal. He also Casey also made that comment. He didn't think it was a big deal. He was like, I didn't think it was a big deal because he can still see Douglas.
It's a big
And he
fucking
was
deal.
shocked, darling. I
Yeah.
remember that. I watched it live. He was shocked that we were outraged. And I believe you're right. That seed was planted then.
well,
I
they
believe
was
so.
shocked
Well,
that we was outraged that they killed Finn.
Because
Everything
that
that
was
we
like,
tell
because that
them,
was like,
they
because if
shocked.
that was the one with J Mac, that was like 5 months ago. So that was a minute ago. Because I think J Mac's done two bold lives, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
Yeah. So he had one that was 5 months ago. Because I'm looking at the Bold Live playlist right now. So he had one that was 5 months ago, and then he had one that was 10 months ago. I have to honestly wonder if the seeds of what we're seeing now were born from, because obviously we pay attention to Bold Live because we like the interaction with Casey and with whoever deigns to come spend time with us, and because that's a really nice feature. They don't
Mm.
have to do this for the fans, and it's really fantastic that they take their time out and come and do this. So I have to believe, honestly, that obviously they must listen back to those bold lives and think about what's said, what is being said, and what's being commented on to get a feel of how some of the audience must feel on some of these topics. So I really have to think that maybe the seeds of that started somewhere around there, because that's been a bird my saddle since 2019, and a lot of people's too.
right. This Free Douglas hashtag has been going on for a very long time. Now,
Yes.
there's times where I have quit and gone to hashtagging something else temporarily and go back to it. It was wrong from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was all dirty from the beginning because they did us dirty as viewers by making Thomas that way, and they did us dirty by not redeeming him at the end of the story with a plausible something to be like, okay, hope y'all have fun. We're going back to normal. They dragged it out for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, also, I will say another thing about the difference between the scene at Forrester and the scene at the Olive Garden is that you can see who the polarizing people are going to be in this story. Because here's the thing: say what you will about Hope and her issues of not being able to let go of Douglas, even if it's the best thing for him. Thomas is not looking to make this contentious. Okay, he doesn't want this to be a fight. He doesn't feel like it, and even Taylor said it doesn't have to be. But if it does, if it is, Steffi's basically like, you know what? Whatever it is, it's gonna fucking be what it is. Because he needs to be home with his people. Just like
Right.
on the poll, it's like if you had to grade everybody in areas of intensity, Steffi is at level 10. Get this boy back with his people right now. And then on the exact opposite side, there's that heifer Brooke with her. Oh, he don't need to go nowhere at -10, and everybody else is falling at different points in between that +10 and that -10.
So you think Brooke gonna be the driving force on the Logan side, darling?
Isn't she always the
I
one
mean,
in
I
Hope's ear with bad
it's you
ass
right. You
advice?
that's she. Yeah, she always is. But we still got Ridge now because she's still holding on to a piece of Ridge. So I've been wondering how that's gonna actually go
Ridge is gonna
because
support Thomas if Thomas want his kid.
you
Ridge is
know
not gonna
how
stand
for
against
yes, how
Thomas
hard is
by
she
getting his
gonna
son
drive?
back.
How hard is she gonna drive, darling? Because remember, Taylor's in town now. Now it was a different story. Remember when they stole Douglas? Taylor wasn't here, darling.
Hmm.
Taylor's back now. Do we? How hard is Brooke really gonna drive?
I
Well, I
think
guess
she's
the
Not
gonna
hard
question
at
drive
is,
all.
hard.
I think it depends on how two-faced is she gonna be. Because it's what she gonna say to Ridge, what she gonna be saying to Hope and Liam.
Right. What you say, Bubbles?
I feel like
That's t-
she's gonna have the power of Deacon blowing her head up, so she's gonna be a little bit energized. She took her ring off before
mhm.
to prove a point. I feel like she might be stupid enough to try to do that again.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
and Bridge is gonna let her because, dude, why fight you? You got Deacon right here. You don't need me no more.
Right.
You don't need me no more. Why would I stick around for this? So this is gonna be, I
It's gonna
think,
be juicy.
the nail in the bridge coffin
I concur.
especially if Ridge put his mouth on Taylor again.
So listen,
That's gonna be the end of it. And then with her, that woman he's married to, with her out here full on talking about some, um, she gonna be the one to make sure that Douglas doesn't go home. Ridge is not fixing to be having this, ma'am. I don't know who she thinks she is. Um,
mhm.
I think it's over for them. Yeah, she's going to be the pushing force. We already saw it today. We
Oh
Mm,
yeah.
already saw it
Mhm.
the day before. She's just beside herself that um Thomas is actually
Uh,
thinking about permanent custody. Where is he going to live in that little hovel Eric calls a mansion? That's no place for a child.
And you know
Honey,
what's so silly is that Thomas Forster is a wealthy man. They're
mm-hmm.
talking like he literally is a homeless man.
Yeah,
Like, where's he gonna live? He gonna live where he won't, because he rich.
well, but look,
right.
they have portrayed him as homeless. What's the one thing we've been arguing about, fussing about this whole time?
The
Is that
Deacon got a
Thomas
place before
Forster does
Thomas.
not have a place to live.
Yep.
Right.
We and remember I was mad because Deacon even got a place before Thomas.
Right.
Yeah.
So, of course, people out here under the assumption that Thomas is homeless because they haven't showed us that Thomas has a home. When Thomas is at somebody's home, it is Steffi's home, or
Mm-hmm.
it is, well, hell, Hope's
We
home.
don't know.
That's
Yeah.
the only place
Forester
Thomas has seen
Creations,
that's
and
been
that's it.
somebody's home.
Because he's had no purpose but to serve Hope. So he ain't
That's
Exactly.
had no
right.
purpose but to be
oh,
at the cabin or at Forester Creations, either working for her
Mm-hmm.
or worshiping her.
and
So
Mm-hmm.
I
so
and I
now
had
I'm saying today,
I wanted to mention something that had me rolling, which was this. When Hope said that she was going to talk to Thomas and see if she could convince him, but she didn't think she would be successful, I wanted to say, well, of course not. You ain't got no more back rubs to give away, do you, Heifer?
I said, I saw your
Right.
tweet, darling.
She's
I
gonna
was
be
like, well,
scooching
the
up on him.
I was like, the last time, I said, honey, the last time you and Thomas had words about the disposition of Douglas's custody or anything else, you was flirting your ass off. You was flirting,
Yeah.
making eyes and letting your back be rubbed, knowing damn well you didn't feel the damn thing from Thomas because it was gonna get you what you want. But you can't do that now because you're nice and all married up and you're settled back with waffles. And before you was doing all of that shit behind his back, but you can't go do that
I
now, can you?
waffle.
I was like,
and plus it
you
don't look
damn
like Thomas even buying. It don't look
exactly.
like
Thomas,
Thomas trying to buy.
no, Thomas not even interested, so she can't flirt her way out of this one.
Yeah,
And plus, she can't get her way out of what Douglas wants.
that's right.
She
Because
did not
she
tell
can't
anybody
ignore
at that
that.
table. She didn't tell nobody at that table about that conversation between Thomas and Douglas.
Yes. She keeping that to herself.
And now this
Even
is something else.
Dumball Liam, he saw the conversation looking like, oh, old dumbass Scooby Doo. And he still ain't say nothing about the conversation.
But you guys listen. So Douglas, they just sat there and saw Douglas talking to his daddy, talking about
Mm-hmm.
do you think about me when we not together?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could live together. Saying all these things, and then, oh well, Douglas knows that his father loves him. No, he doesn't, because you just sat there and watched this boy ask his daddy
Daddy, yeah.
thinks about him when they're not together. And all he
Right.
wants to do is play fetch. That's the only sport this boy want to do with his dad is play fetch. He don't want to go fishing or surfing or camping or walking on the beach. He's happy to sit there in that fucking backyard to play catch if that's all he gets. But he really wants to go live with his
His
daddy,
dad.
And
and
you both
nobody
hurt.
is listening to him. So I really hope that it gets to the point where somebody says, well, you know what? Let's ask Douglas what he wants. And
That's
when,
Mm-hmm.
right.
and when Douglas says, you know what? I like living with Hope.
Mama Hope.
But
Mm-hmm.
I really want to live with my daddy because shit, I ain't lived with my daddy since they took me up out the house.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas gonna say he want to live with both Thomas and Hope.
Yeah.
It
He's
depends
gonna
on how
do
long
that,
they want
but
to
you
drag
know
the
what?
story out.
When it comes down to him making a final decision, because Bud, you can only live with one.
Yeah.
Unless they gonna have them all move into some kind of big house together, Thomas and Hope and all them kids and Liam, unless they fixing to move all of them in the house somewhere together, I don't see the whole I want to live with both of my parents argument flying with Douglas. Of course, all kids want that. But it's gonna come down to brass
Thomas,
tacks. You got one choice, buddy, and it's hard. It's so hard. But you got one choice. Where
I
you
ain't do.
gonna
All I got to say is this much: this story cannot be resolved by doing some sister switch that bird shit, where all these parents decide to cohabitate so their kids can be in the same house. Hell no!
go? No,
Oh no!
Well,
no.
Douglas has been saying that the reason why Douglas has been saying he wants to live with Mommy Hope and Daddy is because that's the lie Hope sold that child.
Yes.
Speak
Thank
on
you
it.
for saying
Speak on
that.
it. Speak on it.
Thank you.
Okay. So I feel as though, see, but Douglas has grown up. He's not that little bitty boy,
He's older now.
yeah, he's older. And I believe Douglas has, he's growing up. He is realizing, sitting in that shed like this bitch done sold me a dream. He
You
is
know
never
what? I
gonna
hope
have
you
his
tweet
day.
that somewhere. I hope
No,
you
he can
tweet
never
that
have that.
somewhere
I
because
did, I did, Bubbles, because it's the truth. I mean, you have to, because they have to grow him up. Because we got an older Douglas, don't we?
yes,
Okay,
Douglas is older now.
okay.
But what
Oh,
about
Lumi, you look like you got something to say. Go ahead, girl.
Oh, I was just gonna sit here and say, like, I was looking at what SB was writing, and she's correct. She said, notice Hope told Brooke that Thomas tried to trade Douglas for sex, when actually that's exactly what Hope was doing. She was trading sexual favors, sorry, sex slash sexual feelings to get Douglas's custody.
She
Yeah,
Exactly.
told Brooke
And
that. She
Mm-hmm.
told
and
Brooke she
listen,
was gonna do that. I'm gonna go and use Thomas's feelings for
feelings
me
for me.
against him. She
Yep.
told Brooke that. Brooke was aware. There was no surprise to nobody that she did that.
And even furthermore, this whole unhealthy fixation on Douglas was
mm-hmm.
between Thomas and Hope.
That's right.
Hope used Douglas as a coping mechanism after her loss.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas used Douglas after his loss of Caroline
Yeah,
because
uh-huh.
he didn't think that he fucking lost his mind, and all he felt like he could do is give Douglas the mother that died. Thomas
Thank
That's
literally
right.
lost his shit. But listen, so Hope wasn't malicious. She just latched on to a child to comfort her. It's a
Right.
human
Yeah.
thing to do, but the difference is her and Thomas both did wrong. They both used Thomas to soothe their grief in one way or the other, but
Yes.
only Thomas was called out for it.
Yes.
So Hope, on the
Yes.
other hand, while Thomas was being called out for it, her need and obsession was being fed. So
Yes.
now she has this child that she calls the little hero that she must have because he gave her back Beth.
Yes.
She forced everybody to go along with it. Even Brooke told her at some point, you need to throw in the towel. Brooke even told her to throw in the towel when Liam threatened to leave. But she went against everybody. Liam fucked up over there and kissed Steffi, and so he had to live with Douglas. So all along, both of them was doing wrong using Douglas, but Hope
Yeah.
never got called out for her shit, and she just been fed to her. So now she's this monster over here that feels entitled. She feel like she's entitled to this child that's not hers.
It's
And she
not.
has
Yeah.
nobody around her but bootlickers. There's nobody
Enablers.
around her that's got a
Yeah.
spine to stand up to her and tell her no. She's like
No.
that child in the store where the parents scared to death that she gonna fall out and start kicking and throw a damn tantrum.
Yeah.
Nobody will tell her. Even Liam, he knows because he told her beforehand. It's not right. One day Thomas is gonna be better. He was telling his whole situation with Bill. I understand why my mom
Yep.
didn't want me to see him, but
So
look with my dad. He was a different person. So
what?
I'm
Let's
glad I
have
didn't see
church,
that.
Sam. Let's have church.
Right?
They
But
don't
even
want to
him,
hear it. They don't
he's
want to
such a
hear it.
bootlicker. Right. He's such a bootlicker that he won't even say, I told you this shit was
I
gonna
told you
happen.
this woman.
Because you know
Bam, that
what? A
could have
real
been
damn
settled at
husband,
Jardino today.
right. A real damn husband would have told our ass, he told our ass so immediately. That would have been another fight. He's
Yes,
such a
He,
bootlicker. He won't even say, Hope, we talked about this 3 years ago. We talked
yes,
about that one day Thomas was going to change. We talked about one day is Douglas is going to want his father. We
Yep.
did.
yes, right.
He won't even do that. Instead, he's sitting up there hemming and hawing. He's not even bothered
Co-signing.
one way or the other. He's soft. That's what I hate about his old pussy ass. He lukewarm
Oh,
like a motherfucker. He's lukewarm. He's like that church that God vomits out his mouth. I don't even want you. You neither hot nor cold. He trash. Doug,
yeah,
at least Deacon was at least earnest in his defense of you're his mom. He was wrong as hell, but he was loud and wrong. The other
yeah,
bootlicker ain't got no spine. He hems and haws. Well, I can go either way. Yeah, yeah. Brooke, her whole life is to make sure she has everything because as long as she happy, I'm not a slut from the valley for having a baby with my daughter's husband.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
She got
mm.
nothing around her but bootness.
overcompensating. Exactly.
Correct.
Brooke
So
is overcompensated. Deacon is doing saying anything he got to say to have a seat at the table, and Liam is just being weak ass punk ass Liam. And
Oh,
so between all of those people, nobody is telling her the truth or
that's
saying
right.
anything to her that's even a little objective. Because like it's been said, Douglas is not a small child anymore.
He's
Okay,
not.
at any point during that conversation today, somebody grown ass should have said, "Well, what does Douglas think? Has Douglas said anything about
Thomas
what the
did,
what?"
but
Yeah,
Thomas did. They had that conversation. He told his mother it was what Douglas said to me today.
exactly. So it's like they're sitting up here just starry eyed, so in love. And the thing is, and this is the thing about Hope. When Hope says Douglas is so everything, Douglas is happy. I'm like, Hope, no, no, you're
And
projecting,
thriving.
honey. You're projecting. You're happy. You feel like you're thriving. You're projecting your feelings about your living situation with Douglas, your daughter, and your husband, and you're making the assumption that this is how everybody else in this situation feels without actually confirming it. Even when the child is in front of you saying he wants more time with his dad, I'm like, red flag on the play, honey. Y'all keep saying how perfect everything is, but if the child is there saying he wants more time with his father and he doesn't feel like he spends enough time with him, is it really as perfect as you're trying to make it sound?
well, remember when Douglas was having the conversation with Thomas, remember I had a whole tirade about how she was sitting up there looking like a goddamn Stepford wife clone, smiling like it was a proud moment. No, what
Yeah,
is you smiling for?
yeah.
Is you not even in reality?
She
Or
crazy.
is it not penetrating? Is she wearing rose colored contact lenses where she's actually not seeing what's happening, but she's seeing something that's something totally other than reality? She had that look on her face like this was a happy, proud moment. And she did that that one time when we watched those clips from Hanan. All those times where Douglas was asking when he was going to live with his dad. In one of the times, Hope and Thomas were sitting across from each other. And when he said that he wanted to live with both of him, Hope looked over at Thomas smiling like it was something sweet. Like, Hope, you ain't never going to give that to that baby.
Ever in
Why
life.
are y'all stringing him along?
That's just a manipulation.
You don't lie to kids about stuff like that because the problem is that this is not a harmless lie. If you tell your kid the tooth fairy is real, guess what? There's no real harm in them finding out in 10 years that he's not real, or Santa, or the Easter Bunny, or any of this other stuff. But the bottom line, but you don't lie to your kid or let your child think under any circumstances that the parents are getting back together, that they're going to be able to live with both of their parents when it is
Right,
absolutely not
right,
possible.
darling.
Because
Right,
eventually that is going to come out into the wash that that is not, it
right,
is not reality.
right. That's right, darling. I think, and from going off what Bubble said as well, somebody gonna have to ask Douglas. That is what Douglas is gonna say because he's then gotten older, and we've all been there as children when a mom or a dad or a parent keep promising, promising, and it never happens. You no longer believe them anymore. It's like
That's right.
I done been sitting up here listening to this live for 3 years. My dad, we're never gonna be a family. Y'all said we were gonna be a family. Mama Hope, you said we were gonna be a family, and I want my daddy. My daddy can't live here, so he's just gonna have to go live with his daddy. And Douglas
Listen,
is gonna say that.
when Liam went to jail, Douglas
He-
asked if his
Oh,
daddy can move in now.
Yeah, oh,
yes,
Liam gone. Can my daddy move in there? I bust out
that's
laughing.
right.
That was the funniest shit of the year.
Hello.
That
Because
way
they told him that, darling. Because they told, see, people not, a child is so, when they're that young at that impressionable age, and you telling that child that you promising their biggest dream. Me, Obama hoping my daddy is gonna one day be a family, and they holding on to that. That's why every year and every chance they got, they had Douglas say, "Can my dad move in? When is my dad moving in? When we gonna be a family?" Y'all, Douglas have never strayed from that idea.
no,
And
because
listen,
that's what they promised him.
even in the
Exactly.
clip, listen, if y'all go back, listen, go to Hernan's page and pull up her media. In one of Hernan's clips, it even showed Hope telling Brooke when they was planning it out, how she was gonna use Tomless. Even Hope said, "I'm gonna go over there and spend time with them like a family," meaning her, Thomas, and Douglas.
Yep.
Like what they were, the promise, that was the promise of the family. She said, and if you can don't trust me, go to Hannah's page and look it up. And then after she got Thomas to sign those papers, let's go tell Douglas, he'll be so excited, we're going to be a family.
Yep.
She lied to that boy just like she lied to Thomas. So when we say Hope manipulated a mentally ill man, we know Thomas was mentally ill, and we know he had been doing manipulating for a year. So we get it. But at least Thomas was mentally ill when he did his manipulating.
Right.
At least he was
Exactly.
mentally ill when he did his manipulating. Hope manipulated not only in a mentally ill Thomas, but she manipulated that young boy.
Exactly. She has like no mental illness as an excuse for her behavior whatsoever.
Oh no, she has no diagnosed mental illness, but Hope is fucking crazy.
Oh no, she got something
If
wrong with
you don't believe that, just watch. Hope has been off of somebody's rocker ever since her mama gave her them draws and took her to that doctor that gave her them pills, and she was out here trying to have sex with Liam in her mama's drawers and popping pills and running over people on the damn ski slopes. Hope
Yeah.
should have been in for real therapy way back then. And she wasn't. What did they do? They dusted her off and told her that she could still have Liam. All she had to do was just get him from Steffi.
That's
That
it.
was the goal, was to get Liam from Steffi instead of getting that girl the help that she needed. She
Yeah.
should have been under the therapist's office.
Didn't Hope almost drown, Bubbles? Didn't she fall in a pool on one incident? They was having a pool party.
She almost drowned in the damn pool one time.
Well, when she was hopped up on them damn pills.
You can
At
see
the
was
Yeah,
force to
on
pool,
the
right? That's
yeah.
right.
yeah. So Hope has had her own near-death experiences.
Yeah.
Hopped up on pills trying to get another woman's husband.
Yep.
She has been needed some kind of mental help, but nobody has ever gotten it for Hope because she's the princess. Ain't nothing wrong with Hope. She
What
just
the
wants
only thing
her
that's
to
wrong is
be
what's not making her happy. That's right.
right.
And it don't
That's
matter what it is. It could be an unborn baby's daddy. It could be a pregnant woman's husband. It could be just another woman's husband. It don't matter. Whatever it
Exactly.
is that she wants, that's what fixes her problem.
Yeah.
And instead of them addressing what's causing her actual angst, what's causing her actual problem, they support all these band-aid ass situations to cover. Because yeah, Bubbles is right. Hope is cracked around the edges. There is no doubt about that at all. Period. But instead
Yeah.
of them actually dealing with the fact that she's cracked around the edges, recognizing it for what it is, and seeing that maybe she needs some help with that, all they know how to do is enable her because they can't
Enable.
accept
That's
the
right.
fact that there's something going on with her that needs assistance. Because yes, it was said it was her glomming onto Thomas in her grief. That was somewhat to be expected. She was using him as a coping mechanism, just like the child was using her to cope with the loss of
With
his mother.
Caroline, that's right. With his mama did. That's right.
Exactly. But
That's
here we
right.
are, years down the line, and he still is this part of her coping with everything that happened at that time. And she still sees him as that same piece of the puzzle, and that he should be exactly where she thinks that he should be,
I don't
not
think it's
where
But
that
he
that's
pure.
wants.
not where it's
I
at.
don't think it's that pure. I do not think it's that pure. We do know that all of them. Everybody was grieving. Thomas, Douglas, and Hope. The only, in the Hope never, but all her she was the heroine. She was perfect. She saved Douglas and she got Thomas busted. I mean, everything. She was handed the keys to the kingdom. But meanwhile, she's got the keys to the kingdom. Thomas is better, and she's still holding on. Wow.
That's right.
This
And
is
Douglas
supposed to
is
be a
better
good
too
person.
now,
So
Sam.
right, and she's seeing Douglas needs more time. She'll call other people to watch Douglas, run Thomas away from the house. Like, I don't know what she be trying to prove. I mean, she stands up there with her back all straight, and I'll let Douglas know you said goodbye. Like, she don't even want him to tell him goodbye. I mean, I don't think it's as sweet as she thinks she's the best for Douglas. I see it way more sinister than that because she
That's
don't
right.
have to be as nasty and dry to Thomas as she is. In my opinion, she's not. She's completely selfish with Douglas. They'll
That's
go over
right.
there, but we don't see Douglas with family. We just don't. So I don't think it's as pure as that. I think it's more sinister. She does have
Mm-hmm.
problems. I always have said she was an insatiable, empty hole because she
Mm-hmm.
can never be satisfied. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you grow up and you're told that life is a fairy tale, in life appears to be a fairy tale, what is there? What's the challenge? All you can do is take what don't belong to you. You can only do
Mm-hmm.
sinister things to turn you on and thrill you now. That's what's wrong with
Mm-hmm.
her. She is insatiable. She'll never be satisfied. That's
Mm.
why Stephanie, Steffi always called her for what she was. She's
Mm-hmm.
just a drama queen. You will never have a moment's peace with her. That's
No.
what she is. She
It'll never
creates
be
the drama.
enough.
She took off her ring and walked away from Liam, and Liam said, "Fuck that. Steffi looking pretty good over him." And he
Yeah.
bagged her.
Oh,
She
I think
fucked up.
See, look what happened like when Brooke made those adoption papers
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Like Brooke
Mm-hmm.
literally said out of her mouth, what if Ridge or what if his grandmothers come and whisk him away? What was so wrong
First.
with that?
Right.
Because she
Because
had to
that's what
get
I mean about the sinister
the
part.
that's
It's not
right.
if that mean that's what I mean about the sinister part. It wasn't about Douglas. If
It
it was,
was about
they
gifting
said
Hope what
hurry
she
up and get
wanted.
him to give you the child before his family and his grandmothers.
before any
They
of his family
sought to
assert
take
any
the
rights over
boy
him.
from his whole family.
Yep.
Hope living in a
It was
fairy tale,
sinister.
and Brooke is her fairy godmother, trying to give to everything she wanted. So yeah, Lumi, that's what that statement meant. Let's hurry up and do. Let me hurry up and help you steal Douglas before his actual family get here first.
And
Correct.
if what was in Douglas's best interest was the primary part of it, that would not
That
have
was
been the
not
way that
Douglas' best
conversation.
interest.
No, that would
Correct.
not have
Because
been how
once
that
the
conversation
Foresters
went.
Right. Once the Foresters told them flat out, no, you're not going to do it. If they were so concerned, they would have made personal calls to Danny and whatever her name is. They would have flew to New York to
Karen.
say, go check on your boy. They would have got Dollar Bill involved. That's your great nephew. Go check on him. Nope,
If
they
it was
bypassed
about Douglas,
everybody that had a right. this is the thing. Everybody that had a right to step
To
in and do
Douglas.
something, they
Yeah,
went behind their backs. They went behind their backs and went directly to the mentally ill because wasn't nobody else gonna co-sign that bullshit.
that's
Mm-hmm.
right. She did that too.
Wow.
Let me see. Brooke did it before when she with the whole Kelly thing. What she told Hope, you better hurry up and marry him because once Kelly's born and he see her face, I'm telling you, he's not gonna want to leave her. There she
Right.
was again. There she was again. There she the same thing. She
That's
said
why
the exact same thing.
that's because that's what I mean when I say here's the thing. Hope is on her own. Hope is cracked around the edges, but Brooke is always standing there with the goddamn hammer to make it work.
Damn right.
See,
Whatever the hell
again,
is going on in Hope's head, Brooke is always there to take it
That's
20
right.
steps further to
see,
make
I
it
don't
just
see
that
it
much
that
worse.
way. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way because then that's putting it off like Hope is just passive in her life,
No,
and
no.
Brooke is
Well, no, Hope. No, no,
driving the
no,
boat.
no. No, no. Hope is a problem on her own. But whatever nasty, bad, effed up tendency Hope has, Brooke makes it worse every time. Every piece
Now,
of advice,
this is
everything
what I
that
see.
Brooke tells her daughter is designed to make whatever's going on 20 times worse than it already is, and it's already bad to start with.
So basically, what she doing is basically Hope really want to do it, but I think she uses
She
her
enlists
mother.
Brooke to do her dirty work
And
on the
thank
passive
you.
aggressive tip. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I Hope know what the hell she doing. She ain't a damn fool.
No,
She
she's
know how to
not.
manipulate
Oh
because
no,
that's what children
this
do.
doesn't keep Hope out of
That's what they
responsibility for what
say.
she does at all.
That's what they say about babies. That's the first thing babies learn to do is how to manipulate their parent.
Yes.
You want a bottle, you cry. That's the first thing children learn.
What?
Hope is a child. She
Yes.
manipulates her mother in such a passive aggressive way. Do Brooke just come off the rip and feed into her insecurities? Of course. You know
Yes.
why? They cut from the same cloth. All Brooke doing is talking to her best friend about what the fuck she know her best friend already feeling.
Yeah.
You know how you is with your homegirl. You can
Yeah.
look at your homegirl and you know that what that look is. Yeah, bitch, I see it.
Yeah.
They
Come on
always
now.
on the same page.
Always. And I don't see Hope as some passive, some just inanimate object in her life. Her and Brooke, they play ping pong. They feed each other.
That's right. That's it.
Just
Facts.
like Taylor said, Brooke and Hope are the same individual. They use their sexuality to manipulate men.
Manipulate
Brooke
these
by
men.
giving them the pussy, and Hope by withholding the pussy.
That's right.
I concur with that. Taylor said it right. One's dressed up in lingerie, one's dressed up in virtue.
That's
That is pretty
they
much
the same thing.
the only difference.
Correct.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I see we running up on 8:33, so I wanted to talk about Bill Lee before we ended up tonight.
Honey child. Yes, I got words. I got
I figured you did. So let's just go ahead and start off. Since Bubbles is our host, let's just start off with the fact that Lee confirmed everything that Bubbles and a lot of other people said about her feelings for Jack Finnegan and how he can go to hell.
I have been saying this since the wedding, since they had that fight, that blowout. Honey, she been telling that man go kick rocks. I was so glad today when she said to Bill was like, I'm sure your husband must be thrilled. And he gave her that, and she gave
The
him a
look
look
on
like,
her
"Fuck that
face.
bitch. Don't even say his name in my presence because he can kick the rocks, all the rocks in the yard. We don't talk about Jack Finnegan around here. We don't
She
talk
had
about
to
him
learn that
around
woman.
here.
Lee said we don't know her.
Right. She said his man lied to me every day of our marriage for over 30 something
30 years.
and expected me to just fall in line. I mean, I love my son, but here I've been tricked into adopting his little bastard.
Uh-huh.
Then he ain't told me that the baby mama was some kind of fucking psycho that was gonna come and upend all of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
She done shot my son and his wife, drove me off the damn road. No, I ain't talking to that motherfucker. I don't care if he, you know what? He should have been the one going off the bridge if we gonna be real honest
Right,
about it. I don't care about Jack Finnegan.
right.
You can talk about Jack Finnegan if you want to, but I'm not talking about that dusty motherfucker no more.
Not to mention the fact that Bill's face, he heard up and peeped like, oh, this is not a good topic. He like, I'm gonna shut the hell up. Cause
Yeah,
this
I
don't
was
look
like,
like a
I'm
good
not a
topic to
stupid
be
man.
on.
He said,
those
I'm
two
not.
gonna make a perfect couple because they think just alike. I
Yes.
I got
love
a
it.
question for y'all
What's
Mm.
that?
about Bill and Lee.
Uh-huh.
But
Did you guys see any romantic chemistry?
I don't know if I would term it. I saw a lot of kinship. Like specifically when Lee was talking about how she wanted Sheila to go to prison for the rest of her life, but a bear basically eating her is just as good. And Bill was looking at his eyebrow went up like, all right, I feel you. And she was like, oh, is it too much? But he's like, no, I agree with you. So I was kind of like, okay, we haven't quite got to the romance vibe yet, but they're kind of like at the part of they feeling each other. They're feeling each other as in they're vibing with each other right now.
Okay, so
I didn't see it, but I'm not gonna say. But that doesn't mean nothing. I can see potential, but I didn't pick up on any. But you see, I was like that at first when Quarter first started out. At first, I was like, "What is this about to happen?"
right.
And then it slowly then I just fell in love with them, and then they just became the hottest ship ever for me on both. So that's how I'm feeling right now with Billy.
So my impression was that I enjoyed the scene between the two actors.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the scene, I think the actors did a marvelous job with their choices and how they portrayed. I
yeah.
enjoyed it. However,
Mm,
I felt nothing.
yeah,
Now, when I say nothing, I wish I had felt that tension that Darling
yeah,
was talking about.
yeah.
I didn't. I don't know if maybe I was looking too hard and hoping too much.
Hmm.
Maybe I had a built up expectation, but I'm going to give it time.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to point out and ask, I don't know if we got any Steel fans or former Steel fans anywhere in this house, but did anybody feel like the words that Bill were saying to Lee were pretty much always the words he said to Steffi? Did anybody else feel that? I think I tweeted, this damn conversation is beginning to feel familiar
Mm, mm-hmm.
about strength and determination because,
Mm-hmm.
Steffi ain't never been no wallflower. She's always been a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was feeling kind of a little nostalgic there. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I'm gonna keep an open mind.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe it's possible. Maybe we got different definitions of vibing. When I say I think people are vibing, what I generally mean is that I feel like they're connecting with each other and they're
Mm-hmm.
able to enjoy each other's company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So no, I didn't. I know I didn't pick up any like flirty chemistry, electric vibes or anything like you would pick up from cups from a pairing where they're kind of sort of feeling each other out and trying to see, are you interested in me like that or am I interested in you like that? And here's the thing about his conversation with Lee. This is the fact. This is the thing about Bill. Bill has only Bill has not fallen in love with strong women. The only strong woman he's ever fallen in love with was Steffi. Because say
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want about Katie or Brooke, they're not strong, take charge, run this shit bitches. That's not who
True.
that is not who those women are. So
Mm-hmm.
him likening the dialogue having similarities, I can definitely support that. But also partially because Lee is a strong, determined, I will break my foot off in your ass kind of woman. and Lee and Bill has not had any dealings with women like that in a long time, at least by my measure, if you count, the one night stand between him and Steffi. So, and I think honestly that's part of what his problem is, romantically speaking, is that when he got caught up in all his mess with Katie and Brooke, yes, these are different women, but these women are soft women when it comes right down to it.
Right.
They're not take no shit ladies. Lee
Right.
is a take no shit lady, just like Steffi is.
Steffi, yeah.
So there are traits there that I think Steffi and Lee definitely have in common for sure.
Well, I think that's why we can build on a good ship. I think that's the potential. I mean, even though I didn't see chemistry immediately, but like I said, for me, it doesn't mean anything because it can happen. It can happen. I mean, it eventually happened for me and Quarter, and other ships on other stories. But Lee is a strong woman. She's feisty. She is not about to back down. And we all know, as you just stated, darling, that that is a big part of why he fell in love with Steffi because she have those similar qualities. So it's some potential there. But and I would like to see where it goes. So I hope they're not getting ready to cut Billy short before they even get started. I want to see where it goes.
Even if it's just them being friends and it never quite evolves to the level of a full blown romance.
Uh-huh.
My thing is, one of my biggest beefs with Bo has always been that people don't have no friends on this
Friends.
show. So
Right?
even if it
Mm.
don't go full blown romance, I'm good with Billy being companions and being down with each other, especially if it comes down to talking shit about who need to be eaten by bears on many occasions.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I'm with you on that. I mean, because what the one thing about it is that having two actors, great actors on screen, having some meaningful conversation, getting into some kind of foolishness, it ain't always got to be romantic.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't have
I
to
mean,
have all that.
they can ride like Bonnie and Clyde, be thick as thieves, and don't have nothing sexual. I mean, I
Right.
can see that too.
I
I would
didn't
love to see
feel
Vincent
anything.
Irizarry back.
What was that, Bubbles?
I didn't really feel any type of relationship type vibes from Bill and Lee, but I did definitely feel like they are on the road to becoming friends first, and
Mm-hmm.
then they're probably going to build off of that friendship because like you guys were saying, there's that mutual respect there. And
Hmm.
got qualities that he finds attractive in women. And I think I tweeted it that I felt like we might be seeing some shades of the old Bill because, he can't be half stepping with women of high standard.
Mm-mm.
That whole messing around with Brooke, he sees how Lee is right now up front, no questions, how Lee is about somebody cheating. So he can get with Lee and cheat on her if he wants to. She is not Katie Logan. She ain't gonna sit there and cry and ask him why and go back and forth with him
And
about
How
start
could you?
drinking.
she gonna be like, Deuces, you better go stand in the corner with Jack and ask his ass how it fared when I found out about him cheating on me. I'm not gonna sit on the couch and cry over your ass, sir. These papers will
Hmm.
be signed and we'll be divorced before you even realize that I have packed my things and left this house.
Oh,
So you
And
might
I
don't
want
can
have
see her giving
to.
Brooke hell too.
and the thing about what Lee said to Bill that was really important was she said it point blank. I may have been able to forgive him for the affair, but the disrespect that he showed me and him bringing that crazy bitch into our lives, I
And
can
pretending
never
his
forgive.
biological son wasn't
Mhm.
his.
Right. She see that's the thing. She can separate her love for Finn from her distaste and in her hatred for her husband. Because she's like, I love my son and I'm grateful he in my life, but I'm gonna be damned if just because I love my son, I got to forgive his raggedy ass Paul for disrespecting me for 30 years, for running a con game on me for 30. The hell I do, he can get the hell
Right.
on. I don't much care how he feel right now. Hell, he probably ain't even call that man and told him it was a lie.
I love it. I love Lee. I absolutely love her. And I can see her giving Brooke natural hell. Like, I want her here. I need Lee. Moving forward, I want, can we keep her, please? Are we
I think
keeping
we
her?
should.
Because,
I
honey,
hope so.
Brooke can get another ankling for Bill if she wants to. But if Bill happens to be with Lee at the time, it's a no go for Brooke. I don't see Bill having no kind of lingering Logan feelings if he
Good.
don't get with Lee because Lee has already shown him that she is not there for the bullshit.
That's
You can
right.
go bullshit if you want to, sir, but you will be out of this sacred space. I mean, I don't know how you've been running your life before you met me, but I'm not one of these bouncing back and forth bitches. Go ask Jack Finnegan. You bounce one time and that's it, honey. This ain't basketball where you get penalized for traveling and they just give you the ball back. Once
Right.
once you get penalized over on these parts, it's over. She don't want nothing to do with a Jack Finnegan anymore. I don't care what nobody says. She is
Mm-mm.
done with a motherfucking Jack Finnegan. Like Bill was saying his name today, and her face was drawing up like somebody was making her eat shit. She is done with Jack Finnegan.
Mm-hmm.
If she gives him a second chance, I will be sugar shocked. Put me on the
I'll
diabetes
put money on
train
that.
because I will not believe that she gave him any kind of a second chance after 30 years of lies, deceit. No, just like her facial expression said, that motherfucker go kick rocks for all I care because what he done put us through, what he done put us through, my son, we didn't have to go through all that. And she probably could have been prepared and would have not had all this disdain for them rich people that Finn married into if
Hmm.
that man had just been honest with her up front. Because if I mean she knew who they were. They're foresters. These are rich people. They got a bunch of static and press mainly because of Brooke. If we're gonna
Yep.
be honest, all of their press came from Brooke over the years. It didn't have nothing to do with Steffi or anybody from her line. It was all about Brooke. But
Hmm.
so if she had known about Sheila, she probably would have been. It would have been easier for her to digest everything that they just went through.
I have to
Yep.
agree with that.
Easier for her. So, but she ain't about it no more. And if Bill Spencer is lucky enough to turn her head, he better not fuck it up. As RuPaul says, don't fuck it up.
It's called You Got One Shot at this audition. You best do right with it.
Right. So
Bubbles, before we wrap it up, I have a question. We didn't talk about it, but I'd like to bring it up
Mm-hmm.
if that's okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I just want to know because I saw a Pantene Ridge again today. Darling, did you see that? He was making a lot of facial expressions. He
Yeah.
was circling again as Thomas
Mm-hmm.
was telling his little story about Douglas and going after his son. And Stephanie was being her namesake and running it down with her whipping chain with it getting everybody in order what they was gonna do with their lives.
I
Rich
got
was just circling and dancing. I mean, because she was like, y'all two need to get it together. It is what it is. You know what that kiss was. Y'all love
exactly.
each other.
That's
I don't want to hear it.
as much as I don't care for parent trapping by anybody over the age of 22 at this point. I have to agree. Steffi was just like, look, I know y'all. It's Taylor. The Trench family dynamic was so cute. When Taylor was like, look, we got this. with the
Yeah,
head
with
like
Right.
he
her
got this. And Thomas was like, yeah, y'all got this. Get it together. And Steph
Yeah,
was like, look,
that's what she said. Get it together.
like,
But
look,
Ridge was just over there. He was circling again. So
mhm.
what is my big baby gonna do? Or like Sam
He
calling
is
my that miserable bastard. What is he gonna
honestly at this point, Ridge needs to be sat in a corner on a stool with a dunce cap on his head till he figure his shit out. Because the thing
cause
is,
that's what it looked like he was
yeah,
doing. I wanna know what we think he was thinking.
I'm gonna tell
he
y'all what he thinking.
literally is just like he don't know what to say. That's one of the reasons why his ass was so quiet
He
today.
didn't
And
know
T
what
K
to say.
doing all that emoting.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
gonna tell you
thoughts?
what he
Go ahead.
thinking.
Go ahead.
Right there.
What he thinking is, my daughter is right.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
What
Mm.
he's thinking is he can't stay the fuck away from Taylor. Period and point blank. He cannot get away from his wife fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be as close as he can to smell Taylor's perfume. The boy's nose is wide the fuck open.
Mm-hmm.
He wants
Mm-hmm.
her.
Mm-hmm.
He wants her. He's
Mm-hmm.
married to a shrew, and he's got to figure a way out of this mess. He don't know how he gonna get out of it. That's why he's shucking and jiving. He don't know what to do. All he can do right now is be as close to the woman he wants to be close to as possible. That's all. That's his only solution. So y'all gonna have to leave that miserable bastard alone until he can come to grips with what he feeling and how he gonna deal with it.
But
I don't
is
know
he
how he gonna
going to
deal with it.
stand with Tom? But is he going to stand behind his son for Douglas?
Oh
Because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
they
gave me
better.
two looks
That's
today,
not negotiable.
darling. I want to know if you caught it. Ridge gave me two looks. When Thomas started telling the story, the first look was, when he said, "I'm going after you. I want my son." To
Mhm.
me, their first look Ridge gave was, fuck, this is gonna cause some problems between me and Bridge. It's like I felt like his mind went there.
That's
And
where it's
then
not.
after Stephanie got off of her, her whip and chain, he was like, you know what? He kind of had that smile, like, you know what? It's about damn time. So I got two conflicting reactions from him today. That's why I'm like, what is Ridge about to do? Because it's not even really about Taylor anymore. Because now Thomas done threw this thing up with Douglas. So what
Right.
is Ridge's position with Douglas and Thomas standing behind his sons?
Bubbles got
Go,
the answer for that. She already
go
told
ahead, Bubbles.
Honey, it's over.
us.
It's,
It's over.
I,
It's over. This man is fixing to go out here and help his son get his grandchild back. And you know how we know this is because
How?
that is what made Brooke take her ring off before. Ridge had told them, y'all is fixing to leave that boy alone. They up there staying at the big house with Eric, and I'm fixing to go up there and stay at the big house with them.
Mhm.
Stop fucking with my son in these papers. Let me go and tear this shit up right now because you bitches
Yep.
is tripping.
Yep.
I'm gonna tear this shit up because you bitches is tripping. But I'm gonna be at the house. I'm gonna be at my mama's house with my daddy and my son and my grandson, and
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
we gonna work as a family, whatever it takes. That's what Ridge said at the time. Whatever I gotta do
Initially.
to get my son healed, whatever it takes, that's what we gonna do. But we not gonna
Mhm.
take his son from him. We not separating his family.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
gonna do whatever it takes.
Mhm.
So
Um,
we all in agreement that we got Thomas got Ridge on his side by regarding
100.
Douglas.
100.
One
100.
Okay.
hundred percent, because that
Okay.
is what broke Bridge the first time when Bridge ended up in a position where he could run away and be married to Shauna in Las Vegas,
Yes, that's
because
Right.
right.
Bridge was putting his foot down about how he was not going to allow them to take advantage of his son in that way,
Take his boy.
and take his
Yeah.
boy. And Brooke said, "Well, who was she? Who was she conspiring with? Was it one of either the cousin or Hope? I'm,
Donna.
It was hope.
dumb. You know what? I know how I can make Bridge change his mind. I'm just gonna take my ring off, and he'll just have to see. I'm gonna do something so shocking that he's just
Mm-hmm.
gonna snap out of whatever this is he's in.
Mm-hmm.
then we're gonna all be fine together.
Mm.
Well, she tried that shit and took off her ring, and Ridge was like, okay, if that's how you want it, here's the divorce papers. I've signed them. And what did she do? She signed the divorce papers. All of this, you guys, came from Ridge putting his foot down and telling them no, they
Y'all can't have his boy.
have
Yeah.
Douglas.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Ridge standing by Thomas before
Yes,
broke
Mm-hmm.
he did.
up that marriage. And this
Correct.
time, this is going to be the nail in the coffin because Taylor is home now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ridge is going to see that there's so much easier things in life than trying to justify being married to a loose, drawled hoe.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he
Bubba.
to wake up out of this spell. It ain't gonna be completely over because him and Brooke got a kid and it's been 30 some plus years and Taylor
Yeah.
got a fight on her hands.
Yeah.
But
Understandable.
he is fixing to be done with Brooke as soon as she throws her hat in the ring to support Hope taking his grandbaby for permanent and not letting Thomas have his turn. After how many years? Oh hell,
3 years.
go ahead
Yeah.
on, go ahead on and get Carter to print up another set of divorce papers because it's coming,
I agree.
Facts
All
on
right.
facts on
Because
facts.
and I
exactly.
can't wait to see it.
Because and here's the thing, Brooke does not have. Brooke has realized because well, yeah, she has no choice but to realize it that she cannot take her rings off and throw them in the air to get her way with Brooke whenever the hell with Bridge whenever the hell she wants. That tactic no longer works. Okay,
Hold on.
you throw
Mm-hmm.
it because and you fuck around throwing your rings in the air with Taylor ass in Malibu. Okay, bet do it. I dare you to do it. And she
I
Mm-hmm.
dare her to take that damn. You know what? I dare her to even think about removing her rings while Taylor is in town.
She
Do
Mm-hmm.
can't be that. She can't be that stupid. Because here's the thing. What was she saying while she was in the Isle of Garden? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go because I never intended to be here this long, and I don't want to do anything to upset Ridge. I'm like, Heifer, please, please,
right.
please.
You already done upset. You done already did all there needs to be done to upset Ridge. Because here you is out here again
In
with
the public.
this man that you know he don't want you nowhere around. But you know what? You right, and your daughter right. You grown. Ridge can't tell you what to do. You grown. You
That's right.
reasonable. Who he think he is? You
Mm-hmm.
yeah, girl,
Exactly.
keep blowing your mama head up while she blowing your head up. That's what I want
Mm-hmm.
them to blow each other's head up, and for both of them to end up ass out in the end because, well, I only did it because you said to do it.
And
Well,
they
I
Now
will.
only did
listen.
it because you said to do
And and they
Now let me
will
tell
end
y'all
up
something.
like that with each other on the situation of Ridge and Douglas because that's the only way that this is all gonna go at this point.
it.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all can believe me if you want. Let me tell y'all something. Brooke is not finna take Hope's side against Ridge. Let me tell y'all something. Brooke is not finna take Hope's side against Ridge. If Brooke was willing to throw Douglas away over Liam Raggedy Ass, you can damn forget about it. Hope's on her freaking own when it comes to this fight with Douglas. It's a wrap.
I told you what I thought
I'm
about that
thinking that,
earlier. I,
darling, you said they were gonna,
I
Brooke was
said
gonna play two sides,
I
right?
said that exactly. I said all of this depends on how two-faced Brooke is gonna be about this.
Yes,
Because
yes.
she made her real opinion about this very clear in the Olive Garden today. She pulled no punches. She said not only did she say that Thomas used to be unstable, he's still unstable, and the bitch ain't gonna never be stable. Okay, she
Right.
basically
Yeah,
she was very blunt about that. She pulled
yeah.
no punches and she was very upfront about the fact that she don't think in the world of parenting that Thomas Forrester is shit or that he ever will be shit. And that his child needs to stay in the custody of Hope and Leah.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes. Now will she go back to her mansion? And when the topic comes up between her and Ridge, will she tell that to Ridge? Hell no.
Up to the no.
She will never ever verbalize all that bullshit in Ridge's face. No, she'll play. She will play. She will be two-faced on this.
Yep.
She will be
But
telling
Hope gonna put on Front Street, darling. Hope gonna put on blast. Watch Hope come through that
Hope,
back door.
It's gonna
Watch
be
Hope
too
come
late.
through them curtains.
It's gonna be too late.
Because
It's
if
gonna be
Hope
too late.
exactly, because she could talk all that shit to Ridge all she wants, and be middling and trying not to show her distaste and how much she despises Thomas to this day, which is another reason why this marriage doesn't have any business working. They can't stand each other's kids. She can
Right.
hide it as much as she wants to Ridge, but when she get back to talking to Hope, and Hope start acting all nutty because she gets upset about realizing that Thomas is 150% serious about taking his child back to
Mm-hmm,
have a full physical custody of him with her getting the visitation,
mm-hmm,
she gonna get in her bag because when witches get around the pot and start stirring, all kinds of shit come out their mouth.
mm-hmm. Oh shit, y'all.
And watch, just watch. All it's gonna take is either Hope walking up on her bullshitting Ridge, or
Uh-huh.
Ridge walking up on her bullshitting Hope to crack that shit wide open.
I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen.
So yeah, Brooke is gonna sit up here and be two-faced as hell about this.
But she can't be two-faced for too long. She gotta get shut down.
Yeah, but
So
she's
y'all
still
think
gonna
they
get
gonna?
caught.
So somebody did float that they think that Deacon or Brooke gonna set Thomas up.
I said that because
Yeah.
I think she's focusing on with her saying that she feels like Thomas still ain't stable. I said to myself, this is gonna sit up here and try to set Thomas up. If it's not her, it's gonna be Deacon because we know Deacon is that kind of person. He will take the hit for Hope and Brooke if he thinks that is what they want that will make them happy. Set Thomas up to make him look unstable, and then when you get there in court, you got all this so-called evidence against Thomas because he's been unstable, but really it's been Deacon out here in these streets like a damn Scooby-Doo character doing shit under the cloak of darkness, trying to make Thomas look crazy, gaslight
Right.
shit.
Right. I could see it, Bubbles.
Mm-mm.
I could see it.
Because she said it one too many times today for it to sit with me. She said it one too many times about how
Thomas is unstable.
Thomas is
She
unstable
did. You right.
and was
You
always
right.
unstable. He's not stable. Where is he gonna live? They're gonna try to set him up.
Deacon gonna be the one to do it because he got to please Brooke.
Right.
So he gonna come up with it himself.
And it keeps their hands clean. That's the
What
most
plausible
important thing.
deniability? By
Is
It
him
might be
doing
Oh my
Deacon.
it's gonna
gosh.
have by him doing it himself and not telling Brooke or Hope what he's up to, they can claim plausible deniability about what actually goes down as a result of this bullshit.
exactly. They don't know.
Oh my
He didn't
God.
well, we didn't know he was going to do that. We didn't know that he was going to go out here and set Thomas up and throw him under the bus like that.
Yeah,
We
but
Mm,
this is the
mm,
man that she has around
aware.
his kid. Right. But this is the
yeah.
ex-con that she has around Douglas.
Yes. Yes. That part. He's rehabilitated. He's good enough.
But
Deacon is
Thomas isn't.
But
somebody
Tom
But
said
Deacon is going to
exactly.
go out here.
his time in jail, so he's paid the price. He's paid his dues.
Oh,
No,
that's what they
Deacon
saying?
got busted out of jail by Bill. He didn't pay all of his dues. He didn't even stay in jail for his whole term because Bill Spencer went and got him out of jail because Bill Spencer didn't want his son married to Hope.
That's
That's
what he
right.
has to understand. But that's not. But I digress, so to speak. So,
I ain't
so,
digressing. I'm gonna play on it, but we gonna have
so
to go though because it's after 9 o'clock.
yeah. Oh
Um,
yes. And tomorrow is when Thomas asks Eric about him and Douglas living there, and also Ridge gonna finally crack his mouth and tell Brooke what he was up to in Monaco.
So that's tomorrow for Ridge or Wednesday?
That's tomorrow.
he
Oh
gonna
my
ask
gosh.
old girl that he was putting his lips on somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what's in
man
the
was
spoiler. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Okay. The
confesses.
look on her face too.
Oh my goodness,
Well, we
y'all.
already know that she's gonna go after Taylor instead of saying anything to Ridge. She gonna go and pack up her dirty drawers and drag herself over to Taylor's office to get in her face. Taylor, I just knew that you couldn't keep your hands or your mouth to yourself. How long did you wait before you went after my husband?
Husband,
You
yeah.
got
Okay, how
took
long you
advantage
waited
of
for you
a
to
Steffi
tell his
situation. She gonna sit there and tell Taylor how she took advantage of the situation in Monaco. I'm just sure that you were just waiting for any opportunity you could to
Yeah.
put your lips on my husband.
At least Taylor ain't put her coochie on him.
Right.
Right. And I hope she tells her that, ma'am, you best to be glad that there was the lips on my face that I put on your husband.
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct. Because I had to push him off me this time.
Because
Next
I
Yeah.
time I
got
won't
you
push him
said.
away. Ain't that's what Nina told Carly? The next time I won't be
Mhm.
turning him away. And she
Right.
Mhm.
didn't. And she
And she
didn't.
didn't, and she won. So you keep
She
on
sure
acting
did.
crazy if you want to, ma'am. But I'm not. I've been turning your husband away. But the way that you acting right now, I bet you I won't turn him away no more. Keep
Right.
Oh,
And he the
in
one can't
my
stay
face
away
like
from
we
you know.
Taylor.
about to get us a trees love scene, y'all. God
Yeah,
dog
because they
it.
can't stay away
Brooke,
from each other.
Brooke
Rich
gonna
keep
go over
leaving
there and
Brooke.
wake up the beast. If this is what Brooke finna do, is go attack Taylor. Oh God dog. Oh no ma'am. Go ahead on, Taylor. You don't have
She,
to resist the next time. Go ahead on and let it happen.
she gonna sit here and go over there and attack Taylor. Then they trying to already take Thomas's kid. It's gonna be too much for Ridge.
Oh baby, he gonna fall right into her. I ain't gonna say it, but he gonna fall right in it. Ah!
You know what? He gonna be tired of fighting it. By the time Ridge busts her down, he gonna basically be like, "No, I'm tired of fighting it."
Yeah,
Bust
Then
it
Taylor
down
might try
like
to
a
put her hand
pound.
up, and he might shake his head no, and put her hand down and take her. Ooh, child. I mean, I think he is gonna be tired of keeping his hands off her. He's tired of fighting, not being able to take
Y'all,
her to bed.
they got chemistry, y'all. Those two, them two actresses, TK and KA, they got mad chemistry, y'all.
And
This
that,
love
yeah,
scene here gonna
yeah.
be hot.
Tridge and Sin got me spoiled on chemistry tip. I'm
What?
just not accepting anything these days.
Oh, Lord have
um,
mercy.
and that's why we gonna get it.
Oh,
And on that note, we gonna go ahead and end because y'all know we'll be sitting up here all damn
Correct, because you
mhm.
know it. I'm gonna go right on Twitter. I'm gonna charge up my phone and I'm gonna show my ass on Twitter and keep on my free Douglas mission.
All right, Sam. I see you there in a few minutes.
over there
All
and
right,
All right.
get it
sis.
on.
Everybody have a good night.
All right,
Good night,
darling. We
everyone.
see
Night,
y'all
everyone.
tomorrow.
And being
All
a
right.
part of the show.
All right. Have a
Thanks
good
for
night,
coming,
SB Rider.
Jonitha.
We'll see y'all
Bye, SB
tomorrow.
Ryder. Bye, Stefan, Bloomy, Queen Libra, Bubbles.
Oh my gosh. So, good night.